everyone, welcome to my review of Digimon Ghost Game. Digimon Ghost Game is the 9th Digimon series in the long-running Digimon series animes. Long journey, which that is a history and a half by itself, but we're starting with the latest one because it is self-contained, but that's what Ghost Game is the first one I'm covering first. But Ghost Game started to run on Fuji TV from October 2021 to March 2023. There's an English dub right into pre-production 2 years ago. We haven't heard anything since, so spooky development hell. The studio behind Ghost Game is Toei, who did the other Digimon series, and Dragon Ball. Ghost Game was directed by Koshi Shioka, who worked on Dragon Ball Super episodes 1 through 36 and Battle of Gods, and also Digimon Frontier episodes 28, 36, and 34.
So tell me, you are humans, are you not?
The other director, Maso Mitsuka, also worked on Digimon Adventure: Dragon Ball Super Broly, and Dragon Ball Super episodes 94, 102, 110, 118, and 129. But while Masachin Shogo worked on Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters episodes 3, 7, 9, 10, 14, 15, 19 through 21, 25, 28, 33, 34, 41, 42, and 52. The music was done by Kwo O10i. The opening is Faction by the Winners. No, the opening never changes. That's all through for 68 episodes, technically 67 plus one special, but the specials count this review. The endings are Pel by Ero Apollo from episodes 1 through 12, Dane Ko Me Ko Wa Za by BMK for episodes 13 through 21. Haki a Mono Taichi by Bye Bye Han no Ho Ti Shenki for episodes 22 through 31. Monster Disco by Shin Kao Sugar X Hayden for episodes 32 through 34. Strawberry by Kabe was for episodes 35 through 57. And lastly, Take Me Maybe by Penthouse from episodes 58 through 67. I of the songs, I do like the second ending the best by far, honestly. I think that is the most fun one. But moving on to the voice cast real quick. So I like to go for voice cast. And the only words that I know them from I will mention, but starting off with Hiro, who is voiced by Matsumi Tamura, who also played Izzy in Digimon Tri and Last Evolution, Nakoshima in Kaiju No. 8, and Kobayashi in Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Kochiro is played by Akiwa Ichidai, who played Bakia in Ultimate Apostle and Danganronpa, Wizamon in Digimon Adventure 1 and 2, Gawa in Naruto, and Astro Phoenix in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX and Arc 5. Rui is played by Yu Kobayashi, who also played Miharu in Danganronpa, Smith in Monster Musume, Kathy in Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexo, and Mid-Yuko in Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Watch. Gamamon and Gout's Gamamon is played by Miyuki Sawacho, who also played Toko in Danganronpa, Psycho in High School Vedette, Mystico in One Punch Man, very important character, Daki and Demon Slayer, and Rika and Kawa and Kagen Gui. I always have trouble pronouncing the gambling anime's actual title. Jellymon is played by Yu Shimawa, who also played T.U. Wen Enya and Overlord, and female Yupo in My Hero Academia. Lastly, Anglermon is played by Kazuya Naka, who also played Yu Shinki in Boruto, Mondo and Danganronpa, Garamon and Deo Squad, and Togamo and Dragon Ball. And with all that under the way, let's start with episode 1. So this world has holograms, so that's kind of the thing. Actually really doesn't play in too much. It's like, oh, the world has holograms and people believe in hologram worlds. Spooky. But like, that's how they explain away, like, the humans explain away the Digimon parlance. They go like, oh, it's a hologram, it's an AI hologram. But that's it. It doesn't feel like it's like the biggest deal, even though they say at the beginning of episodes, like, holograms, 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 holograms. That's the spiel at the beginning of every episode, but besides the point. We see the Sewn Lip Man, aka Clockmon, and Ichigo to an old age. We meet Ruli, one of our main characters, who's into ghost stories and runs a social media account about like ghost stories and like mischievous bows and stuff like that. We meet Hiro, who goes to the school like he bodes at and is talking about Clockmon. And when we meet the last main character, Kirishiro, he's scared of everything. He's one of those characters that's scared of his own shadow. If he gets like knocked out or anything, and it's like, oh, super brave on his son. That's such a fun trope. Yay. I don't like him. I'll be honest, straight up, don't like him. It's an annoying trope. I hate it. I know I've mentioned it at least once in a review, but it's not a fun trope to me. Because, yeah, it's just annoying, but besides the point, get that out of the way. Hiro's dad just disappeared one day and left a cradle with a wristband in it. Hiro is a nice person that likes to help. Kotaro wants to get a picture of Clockmon. Kotaro is like one of Hiro's friends, and he wants to send it to Rui because he's one of her followers. He drags Hiro with him. Clockmon ages Kotaro, and because he must protect his image. You know, paparazzi and all that stuff. You gotta protect it. Hiro got saved by the teachers walking in. Hiro got 3 bracelets and he plugged a USB into one. His room got grassy. We meet Black Garamon, but he just kind of shows up and disappears. We meet Garamon, Hiro's partner Digimon. Hiro's dad is coming in a recurring hologram to say that Hiro's in a digital world field. Kind of like Digimon crosswords with digital world quotes. I believe that's what it was called. When it's like, oh, between space and time and between the human world and the digital world, basically. The dad also mentions that Garamon is a Digimon and he was little bro. The bracelet is a Digivice, but putting the USB back in again, Hiro and Garamon are back in the real world. Hiro can make Garamon into a hologram or a solid. Clockmon shows up. Garamon finds Clockmon, who says he wants to look at human stolen time, so he just wants to steal the time for just looking at it, just viewing purposes. It's just Netflix. Clockmon tries to steal Garamon's time, but a shadow figure shows above Garamon. Hiro uses a branch, so it transforms into a tree once it goes into the time stream, and that was effective against the Clockmon. In the series, the humans call out of attack because it shows friendship and linking. And so that means the power of friendship saves the day and got everyone the time back. Clockmon runs away. I mean, this is a fine first episode. I do like it. It has intrigue. And I think it's enough to get you a hook if you like horror themed stuff. I think this is a good look into that. And it does do a job to introduce all the characters we meet. But at the same time, I don't know what the slow burn for characters. But meaning is, what you see in this episode is what you get in terms of Rui and Kirichio So like to be like the slow bone, like, oh, now they have Digimon. I get about that, but like because that could be episode 2, episode 3, but like you could have easily have them into the fold already, if you get what I'm saying. Because yeah, I feel like just besides for point spreading it out, I shouldn't say dragging it out, but dragging it out too. I feel like you could easily just have them in this episode and learn about Digimon, and yeah, it wouldn't make that big of a difference. Well, other than that, again, it's a good episode. But episode 2, we see someone who missed the last train get kidnapped by Mommy Gabumon doesn't know any answers to Hero's questions, so mystery. Rui is looking for Mommy rumors at each part of a museum. Where else are you gonna look? He was learning to tell people about Gabumon as an AI hologram to hide Digimon. Again, that's really relevant for holograms are. If they call Digimon hologram ghosts, it's like at a certain point in the series, just call them Digimon. Don't even bother with the hologram ghost thing. It's stupid. I hate to say it like that, but like, you know what it is, like, but like episode 50, you should know. Well, I mean, you should definitely know about episode 50, but it just kind of gets repetitive, and it's like, okay, guys, show. You act like you didn't know it's gonna be a Digimon this week, like it was last week. Okay, show. But anyways, besides the point, Gabumon has a different name for things, like chocolate equals champions and spicy equals scary. He learns about Momimon and wants to meet him for info, because he has questions. Momimon kidnaps the girl, but sick of her job and wraps up by saying he would give her eternal life and that the abyss is the pathway to resurrection. He does the good old bathroom trick to get into the museum at night as Gabumon wraps himself in toilet paper. Gabumon can hack electronics. Hero and Gabumon bump into Momimon. Momimon doesn't have any answers to Hero's questions. Hero gets bandaged up. Gabumon gets beaten as Momimon takes Hero away. Gabumon shows up to save Hero. Momimon is packing heat. Momimon is a doctor and led by ancient Egypt and thinks that turning people into mummies heals them. Gabumon digivolves into better Gabumon. After both him and Hero says they want to eat more together. The evolution theme is first layers by Yoshi Maasa Yukawa, and it's okay. It's definitely not my favorite evolution theme, which, I mean, it's not saying a lot because most of the evolution themes are absolute bangers, but it's toast for bottom for me. Not saying it's a bad song, but compared to the other ones, it's a bit lacking for me. Hero explains that mummification is an omen that the Momimon stops, so better Gabumon doesn't really do anything besides free Hero, which is like such a freaking fucking disappointment for a first evolution fight. Like, even though like some of them are very basic, like Greymon versus Shellmon in the first Digimon adventure, or like absolutely balls to the walls, like Metal Greymon's evolution and Digimon Adventure, like, it was something. This is a nothing fight, and for a first evolution, man, that's not showing what evolution can really do, in my opinion. So, Momimon is going to the hospitals to learn about human medicine. Hero sees Rui for the first time, and she has a Digimon following her. She just realizes it because she can't see Digimon without the Digivice. This episode is fine, again, for a first evolution episode. Like, for evolution part sucks. But, like, for Momimon stuff is fine. Again, I just wish there was more love into the first evolution. Episode 3. Signs are appearing on body parts in people's pictures, which have an effect on, say, body parts. Like, for example, someone's hair had, like, scribbles on it, so the hair grows very long. Or, like, if you have someone's leg got scribbles on it, broken, or cramped, or both. It was very kind of unclear. I believe he said broke, like, at one point I said broken. But how it looked like he just had cramp. But besides the point. This happens over the course of 2 days after the script was first appeared on a picture. Rui got one with her fingers. Rui thinks someone's outside when she's playing the piano, but no one was there. Rui's fingers disappear because of a picture. Rui talked to one of the victims that had her hair grow to get answers, but no dice. Rui's fingers are getting worse. Hero texts Rui and he offers to help her with her Digimon problem. Heroes can see the Digimon behind Rui and tells her about them. The most open that happened with Digimon ever. Not really ever again, but besides the point. The Digimon says his name is Angromon, and he says a Digimon named Dracmon is one of us causing the scribble harms. Dracmon wants to materialize, so that's why it's doing what it's doing. Hero gives a Digivice to give to Rui to act as bait. Dracmon brainwash Hero to try and get him to materialize him. Agumon knocks Hero out of it. Rui got her Digivice. Agumon became her Digimon partner after Hero gets brainwashed again. Agumon says he likes to hear Rui play the piano, which got her to trust him. Rui materializes Agumon. Dracmon drops his clothes after getting his butt kicked and gives his evil eyes, which is kind of like how he brainwashes people to the gang. And Dracmon got backup evil eyes. This is a nice episode. I like this episode. That's an introduction to Agumon. And again, like with Rui, we saw what she was all about in episode 1. So I can't even call this whole introduction episode really. So it was just more of her. But that's it. More of home. Which it also feels weird too that we got an evolution before like all the characters are introduced. I know that's what we did with Digimon Adventure Colon, but like it still feels weird. But anyways, besides the point. Episode 4. Pumpkin Kids is kidnapping people at a school. Rui's at said school setting up for Halloween. He calls Hero for help. While trying to make Gamamon unmaterialize, Hero sends him to the digital world field, which if you break something there, it does not break in the real world. And everyone else just disappears too. Hero really does say yes to everything. He's a yes man. He's Jim Carrey in that one movie, Yes Man. Hero and Rui are on a first name basis now. The Pumpkin Kids get another victim. Rui shows Hero how to make Gamamon dematerialize, which he really does. Agumon tells us that Digimon were born from a computer virus. Digimon get thrown into gates, which brings them to the real world. Agumon has never heard of a Digimon digivolving, then go back to his former form before. So we got the background of Digimon here. Save for this because this is the real time of them actually giving us answers before the final episode. So just savor it like a good slice of pizza. One of Rui's friends sees the Pumpmon pulling a pumpkin on people's heads and coughing it, and then she gets kidnapped herself. We get a kidnap montage of Pumpmon hacking a hologram to help him do it, which again is a real time for holograms actually playing into the story. Hero and Rui learn about the disappearance. Candamon and Alekaimon are the Pump Kids, and Pumpmon's Pumpmon. As Hero gets kidnapped, acting as bait, Gamamon, Agumon, and Rui save Hero. Hero uses the digital world field. Pumpmon just wants friends, and sees that people are happy wearing pumpkin heads on Halloween. They get a fake person trick to get you to attack your friends. Gamamon digivolves into Bergamon, and Bergamon just destroys a giant pumpkin, and that's it. And then, yeah, the evolutions are so far underwhelming. It really are. And we get a friendship speech, and everyone becomes friends. Pumpmon and everyone disappears. This episode's fine. Like, Pumpmon, I think they did a decent job with the spook factor with him. But again, they don't justify the evolutions. I feel like it's very bland action. Which, I mean, fortunately they do step it up, but these early episodes suffer from that. And, which is funny because the early episodes raise intrigue and wants you to ask questions. And the later episodes don't want you to do that and have better action. It's almost like they know that he likes stories. It's just like, look, better animation. which I should give this out of the way now, too. But in interviews, they have stated that two things that I want to bring up. Bandai Namco would developing this Digivice as like a watch thing, smartwatch, separate from this anime. So they were develop Digimon and stuff on that on their own while Toei was trying to make this anime. So that gives me an idea of pacing issues in terms of evolutions. Because, to be fair enough, I don't think any of the Digimon series really get like the perfect pacing down for evolutions. Besides maybe Tameless. Tameless might be the one exception for this. But everyone else, not really. And then they also said because kids are on the YouTubes and TikToks of a short attention span, so they try to make this show episodic, but they try to have a cake and eat it too without putting in any of the work. Don't at me, but we really do see that later on. Not now. Now it's still good, but later on. Okay, I just wanted to mention that now and then again, so you can see that develop. Moving on to episode 5. Snakes are coming out of the ground, causing lights to blow up. Kyushu has a haunting in his room, and he thinks it's a code. The haunting wants Kyushu to put on a Digivice. Kyushu can now see Jellymon. He wants to materialize her. Kyushu programmed virtual talisman to help him with his Digimon problem. And he did this like other people's electronics. We see Snakes causing distractions. Hiro explains the Digimon thing to Kyushu. Kyushu is a genius and went back to Japan after starting in the States, like graduated college and all that stuff, to give out Japanese school life. Yeah! Legally, I mean, yeah. Well, what if I crash into someone? Okay, that looks so unnatural from mouth movement in this. Jellymon likes to mess with Kyushu, so basically it's don't tow with me, Nakato-sama. But that's the relationship with a hint of Maya and Monster Musume. All electronics are going down. Majumon, Quaslamon, Bitmon, and Goatmon are making their way to Kyushu's dome because Kyushu's talismans will win by Jellymon to steal money. Majumon protects wealth, and the others are his minions, basically. Kyushu is trying to delete the talismans, and the others try to stop the time. Kyushu got Jellymon to help him after showing somewhat of a backbone. Gamamon digivolves into Baragamon and just does fucking nothing. Like, literally nothing. Besides, get hold at, like, the whole don't move or you get hold. Kyushu passes out and wakes up, acting brave. Again, I hate that trope. It's stupid. It's annoying. And Jellymon, broke the talisman. That stopped Majumon from wanting to attack. Kyushu doesn't remember what happened after he passed out and woke up brave, which she calls his limit break. Jellymon calls Kyushu her darling. Daddy. This episode's okay. I'm fine with the lack of action in the episode if they make it interesting. But really, honestly, out of the 3 Digimon pairs that have come so far, I don't know which one I like the best, to be honest. Because I really don't like Kyushu, but Jellymon is my favorite out of the 3 Digimon, which is, I guess, makes him a neutral pair for me. But, like, again, everyone else is just bland. I mean, I guess Hiro and Gamamon are my favorite because Gamamon is just too cute. And that evokes some sort of emotion compared to the other characters in this show, so bravo, Ghost Game, bravo. Episode 6. A karaoke place got a Digimon that likes to sing and attacks people. Komon is a Digimon that's just chilling at a fox shrine. And I like that we just see Digimon chilling out in the human world, not causing issues. And there are rumors about him because he picked up a wallet to give back to the human that dropped it. Rui and Hiro are visiting the karaoke place. Of course, the karaoke place is covering up for attacks. You know, gotta keep it hush-hush. Kyushu is here because Jellymon wants to be there. Another person got attacked by the Digimon. Agumon heals for attack, and the gang saves the go. Rui gets attacked in the elevator. Agumon senses the Rui got attacked, and the Digimon of the week is Saruman, who ran away. The plan to cut off the karaoke system when Saruman is traveling and to lure them into their Pacific room. Saruman just flies away to sing a whole song to a bigger audience. Rui uses the digital world field. It vibrates up with Saruman's attack boss bouncing off of everything. Gamamon digivolves into Better Gamamon. And then we have Sky Battles, which means that like there's nothing for Saruman's attacks to bounce off of. Hero sings Bally, which Saruman enjoys, to talk about the power of music, so Saruman is going to train to be a battle singer. And the wonder about evolution at the end of this episode. This episode's fine. It's nothing offensive. Saruman just wants to sing. This is a fine example of this, but later on, this one specific example that definitely comes to mind. The fact that everything is a Digimon related means that these Digimon have ghosts. Now, some of these ghosts aren't necessarily creepy ghosts, but they try to make it spooky anyways. And sometimes it just really doesn't work because, guess what? It's a Digimon Ghost game. It's gonna be a Digimon. Which, that goes to that starting from a, Digimon of the Week method that it chose to do, which is fine to do that. Tame was did that for the first half, and then Story kicked into Overdrive. Data Squad did that for the first few episodes, and then kicked into Overdrive with the story. And still have Digimon of the Week. But the issue is with specifically Ghost Game is that you want to have this episodic nature and have the story, but don't want to answer the questions of the story, but bring them up right here and be like, ooh, I wonder about evolution. Randomly throughout the episode, through the series, but really don't do anything with it. Again, too much later. And it's just, again, the whole eating your cake and wanted to is an issue. Because I'm rewatching Supernatural, and Supernatural has its goofy episodes, not all of them spooky.
I'm Batman.
But you at least have a feeling of a threat. And sometimes you don't have a very good threat of Ghost Game. Due to the know that you just know it's a Digimon but wants something. So moving on to episode 7. Chromon frees birds from the cages. My point. One of Rui's friend's birds is also freed. The gang is on the case of the missing birds. The guy from the opening wants to help Chromon free all the birds. The gang is setting up a headquarters, because why not? More birds are free with the help of the guy. The gang found out about the guy having an alpha Digimon. The birds are being freed in a spiral. The next targets the bird Sanker team with eagles, hawks, and condors. The birds attack the gang after the team. The digital world field is used to separate Chromon from the birds and the human. Chromon covers everything in darkness and beats up opponent Digimon. Gamamon takes a ride on Chromon via biting. Gamamon gets a new evolution into Couch Gamamon so he can fly or glide now, whatever technically is. Not great. Honestly, it's not a great fight, but it's the best one so far. Chromon runs away, and the man chases after it after return from the field. The birds choose whether they want to go back home or not. This episode's fine. I kind of hate that Gamamon got an evolution before Angelmon or Jellymon got an evolution. I kind of don't like that decision. I know Gamamon has the free champion stage, but you could have easily had Jellymon or Angelmon Digivolve. Gamamon evolution, and then Volvo 1, and then the last Gamamon evolution. But whatever. however they want to do it. But Quillmon is non-existent villain. Like, it doesn't really work for me, honestly. Like, they don't do anything to make it spooky, or try to make it spooky, or try to, like, make it feel like a threat. Like, it just is a very lacking episode, and, like, Gaomon digivolves because he wants to fly. So he got his wings, he spread his wings and learned how to fly. Episode 8, Systemon Cia, I think that's how you pronounce that. Knowing me, I'm butchering it. It's in the was way. But anyways, Sister Cia is attacking and cause like a bunch of Digimon also like show up, causing car accidents. Digimon is doing something all night long. Really wants to ride go-karts, so she invites everyone, but Kyushu sits out. What really thing throughout the series is that like she's trying to find a hobby, but like ain't a focus. It's just a full line, and this it gets like a little more spotlight, and that's kind of it. I mean, again, this it goes back to the episode tries to eat your cake and have it too. I'm gonna bring that up constantly because honestly, before going like into of course further down the line, but like easily can make that an episode. Really is like trying to figure out hobbies. Digimon shows up. She found something she liked. There you go. Simple, a little growth progression, if you will, of a character. But no, she finds nothing she likes. There's nothing out of this that really likes, because you can't have growth. Like, it's crazy to me. Power Rangers, episodic as heck, but guess what? It has a storyline. But you can watch any episode or enjoy it or disenjoy it, depending on the episode. Not every episode Power Rangers are 10 out of 10, but you get the point. Digimon past series, I would argue, for the most part-ish. Maybe Digimon's not the best example, but Pokemon. Episodic as heck, but, storyline. Well, no, I would say Digimon, because there's a fight, you might not know the specifics of what's going on, but I think you could still maybe enjoy it. But besides the point, it's just one of those things like you could make something out of that, but you chose not to. Well, also another throwaway line for a conclusion, but the payoff sucks, but we get to that later. That's like way further down the line. But anyways, so that went down. Jellymon offers a go-kart to Systemon Cia because Cia wants to be the strongest and the fastest. Oh, she wants to be Broly and Boto. I see. The gang steal go-karts to go after Systemon Cia to ask what's going on. Digital World feels activated because, you gotta have actions of Digimon activities. A lot of Digimon appear out of nowhere, but Digimon are racing not get captured by Mental Phantomon's scythe. You can't pull out the waves if you try, you get scythed. Systemon Cia was the one to summon Mental Phantomon to make racing more fun, for her at least. If you get mocked, you cannot escape the rules until morning. And if you fall behind, well, you get scythed. So, either way, it's not a good situation to be in. But the opponents get mocked. Systemon Cia isn't listening to anyone, so Willie passes him. He will lie by saying, like, Willie's card is the greatest of all time. No one can beat it. It's a 10 out of 10 card. 11 out of 11. 12 out of 10. And he was like, hey, you can have this amazing card if you fight Mental Phantomon, which they do. And then the go-karts are failing out of heroes. I mean, I like Jellymon's expression when she was helping Willie, and like she was like, "Yeah, the go-kart's not working anymore." And Kyushu, of course, is panicking because that's what he does. Black Gatomon take the Digimon back to the digital world, which frees the partner Digimon. I like this episode. I think Phantomon is like, I think a good spooky Digimon. I think familiar with Systemon Cia because that's the version of that Digimon. because I forgot the uncensored name, but it's Digimon something. But it was made for the Digimon, Cyber Sleuth game for Western audience, because out of everything in Digimon, we cannot handle the non-suit, because that's religious. So they made the more colorful one. I mean, they're both cute, so I mean, I say that's a win. But fun fact, they also were stupid with the trading card game of Digimon, because they treated the two Systemons as different, and then they had to like wire these cards to be like, oh no, they treat it as each other's and each other's types, because of consistency's sake. But anyways, yes. But overall, the episode's good. It was a fun episode, and I like the racing saying, and a nice little different taste in the mouth a bit. But episode 9, he was having an out-of-body experience and woke up late. Time seems to be slipping here, or more like skipping.
Do you think time went past me by?
He asks Willie and Engelmon for help. They say it's most likely stress, so they go to a library to de-stress. Wherever floats your boat. Library, I wouldn't say libraries make me stress, but they're not the most peaceful place for me, personally. Time slip again, so Hero is late to the library, and Jeremiah and Kyocho are there too, because we gotta get the gang together, the band together. The library is haunted, of course it is, why wouldn't it be? Hero is having a bad headache due to ringing and everything going wobbly for him, but he got better. We meet Bakumon and Bakumon, the Digimon, the harmful library. Bakumon is a professor. Bakumon explains that Digimon have states where they can be seen by humans without the help of Digivices. So there's 4 states, 1 that cannot be seen at all, 2 can touch things, 3 the hologram ghost state, which that's the only way to explain it. But that's the only time we use that terminology. And then materialization. Materialization is caused by emotions. Some Digimon can go back and forth between worlds. I mentioned this, and I'm not sure if I'm going to remember to bring this up later, because this is a mystery that, oh, you would burn up if you go to the digital world as a human. I was like, oh, how did Hero's dad get to the digital world? But that was an unsatisfying payoff. But we get to that later. Hero got a headache, and time is slipping by after his friends left him during his talk with Bakumon, which I feel like is fucking stupid of him, because you know something was wrong with him and you left him. Great friends, by the way. Great friends. Clockmon's back, throwing off Hero's sense of time. Hero uses the digital warfield. Bakumon and Bakumon come in to save the day. The others come back too. The dark shadow came out of Garmon again to reflect Clockmon's time-stealing move back. Garmon digivises into Bell Garmon to stop Clockmon's aging himself. Clockmon says he will not attack anyone anymore, and Bakumon will train him to know how to be invisible to humans. I like this episode. I like we have a Digimon professor to give us details about Digimon, and someone the game can turn to. And then I like how Clockmon had a little arc. See, look, there's an arc. See that dusted underneath? An arc. They could not apply. See, look, they can do it. There's proof that they can do it, but they chose not to for the main characters. Frustrating as heckers. But episode 10. A guy is playing a fighting game when a Digimon beats his father and suck him into the game. Kotaru wants to meet with Digimon because there's rumors that she's pretty. Yeah, she's cute. But Kyuchu stopped playing the same game because he heard people were disappearing. Kotaru disappeared like the first guy. Kyuchu passes out after seeing this. Bakumon moved to the library he was dome for convenience sake. I mean, he says he read every book in the library, but for convenience sake, let's be clear. Bakumon thinks it might be Kink-A-Kurumon and Ginka-Kurumon because he bumped into them while eating the game's bugs. I mean, you gotta eat something. Ginka-Kurumon turns the losers into liquor. Nothing sound. I mean, to be fair, well, it was like a Orochimarumon that did that, and Tamus turning, he was turning something into liquid, liquid. It was like Daya. I believe it was just straight up turning Daya into liquid. But if that was changed, what was that changed to in Tamus? It wasn't soda. Like, was it soda? No, it was milkshakes in Tamus. They changed the liquor into milkshakes.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and their life is better than yours.
Anyways, besides the point, it's like that basically. Kyuchu is going to play the game as bait. King Kurumon appears and Jellymon became Kyuchu's file by plugging herself into the computer. Jellymon is losing, but a powerful comeback is happening. King Kurumon added more buttons to his control that made him faster, but Kyuchu is keeping up. King Kurumon said, "Screw the game, we keep fighting in the real world now," because we want to see Kyuchu's face. Kyuchu passes out. Jellymon is getting her butt kicked now. Gamamon digivolves into better Gamamon to go after King Kurumon, which we might have seen like 1 or 2 scenes with him fighting, and not too much. The power of shocking woke up Kyuchu, and he's in his limit break mode. Jellymon digivolves into Tesla Jellymon and beats King Kurumon and saved everyone. King Kurumon said she would be back to fight again, but King Kurumon would not turn people into boos anymore because he didn't realize you can buy them in the human world. I mean, to be fair, that makes sense. It kind of, it's funny in a twisted way. But I like this episode. Honestly, this is probably the best action we've seen so far, and it's from Tesla Jellymon / Jellymon. But yeah, I mean, it's a fun video game episode. Which the game is, I'll have to guess, based off of Street Fighter. But yeah, it was fun. Episode 11. A couple was attacking the park by a Digimon after the temperature dropped. Angomon has been leaving in the middle of the night. Rui and Angomon were hanging out, and the same thing happened to them as the couple just attacked. Angomon has been acting real lately, and is not telling Rui what he's doing at night. Angomon is talking to other Digimon to learn about the attacks. Rui gets attacked again, her camera gets cut in half. The Digimon of the week is Weapamon, who's fighting its own tail because the tail wants to show off its sharpness, which is causing the damage and attacks, etc., etc. Angomon and Hero are going to Rui's location. Gamamon digivolves into Gauss Gamamon, so him and Hero can fly to Rui. Weapamon tries to cut off his own tail. Angomon comes in with a save. Rui wants to tuck it out with Weapamon and his tails, but no dies. Hero and Gauss Gamamon show up, and they were able to stop Weapamon and his tail. Rui tells Weapamon and his tail to work it out, figure something out. Angomon invites him to the Digimon gathering that he's been going to. Rui and Agumon both apologize for not talking out their feelings about, like, Agumon not telling, like, really about the gathering. And I think this should have been an evolution episode. I think this would have been a great evolution episode, just with a personal conflict between Rui and Agumon. I think that'd be great. We're 11 episodes in. Like, you know, time to give these evolutions warning a bit. I guess we still got 3 more champion states. But, yeah, I mean, other than the lack of something which I think would have been a perfect fit for, this episode's fine. Like, it's a good episode. Nothing's, like, wrong with it. I think it was fun. Weapamon and his own talking tail. Fine, Digimon of the week. But the issue with the theme of Ghost Game, sometimes they don't do, like, again, the scary. They forget it sometimes. Because this feels like an average episode. Not like any Digimon, but it could be in part of any Digimon series. Not just the Ghost Game. Which, again, that is a thing throughout the series for multiple different, like, episodes. But yeah, like, again, it's a fine episode. Nothing to really complain about. Episode 12. An old man got one of those close email chain things, and it's like, oh, if you don't send it out, bad things will happen to you. And when he tried to delete it, a Digimon popped out and bites him, Koichiro got one too and went away with Jellymon with Digimon popped up. The two of them go to Hero. The Digimon of the week is Zazulumon. Hero and Rui both got emails, but Garamon destroys Hero's phone. We've seen Zazulumon getting bigger from drinking water, but it can also steal water from people. And, like, they basically are sending themselves through, like, emails by using, like, email addresses that have been sent to. For example, like, if like, Hero got an email, they can send them out, okay, like, or we say Rui as a contact, we can send ourselves out to him, or at home. So, yes, that's how it spreads. And then they go, oh, the world can end. The end is nigh, as you will. And, yeah, you guys should have fucking used the digital world field way sooner than you did. I am sorry. That is stupid on you. As soon as you saw these things popped up, like whack-a-moles, boom, boom, activate it. Anyways, damage Jellymon can combine to get bigger. Jellymon digifies into Tesla Jellymon, Garamon into Rose Garamon. Because he wants his champions. Kind of the same reason as the Mummymon episode, but whatever. I guess it's hard to come up with multiple reasons to digivolve. An elder Zellymon stops the fighting because they are his clones, and he takes the clones away. This episode's fine. I think, like, taking over the world is scary, but, like, you say something big, but I don't feel necessarily the threat, because I don't see, like, world destruction necessarily. Like, oh, like, I understand the threat and perceived threat of it, and I understand, oh, this is bad, but, like, I'm not, like, going, like, oh my god, the world is ending, guys, like, pack our bags up, time to go home. So, I feel like there's, for me, a bit of disconnect, but other than that, I mean, Hero got 3 evolutions before Rui got 1. That's my thing, too, like, poor Rui has 0, like, evolutions. He was walking out with 3, and it's just kind of like, well, that kind of sucks, placement-wise. But moving on to episode 13, we see a Digimon getting knifed in the head. The gang learns about all the assassinations that are happening. Bakumon thinks, pardon my German, dear Shaw, Fletcher? I butchered that so badly.
Der Scharfrichter.
That. Which means executioner in German, since you can hear breathing in one of the assassination videos. That's the thought process behind this. The gang are worried about the Digimon partners. The executioner strikes again. Jellymon is wondering about getting a Komodo, but for Sunflowermon, the executioner gets a double kill. The executioner is after Jellymon, and he barely missed. The digital world field is activated. The executioner is good at what he does, and his name is Sealshamon. Bogmon saves Gamamon from dying by taking a knife himself. Gamamon goes berserk and digivolves into Gauss Gamamon. 4 evolutions before Rui. Anyways, Sealshamon just wanted a body count. Isn't he a lovely Digimon? Gauss Gamamon kills Sealshamon. Gauss Gamamon is breaking the digital world field. Jellymon digivolves into Tesla Jellymon. Tesla Jellymon and Agumon failed to land a hit on Gauss Gamamon. Gauss Gamamon wants to sync with Hero. Gauss Gamamon digivolves before he could kill the gang. Again, lovely. Bakumon got turned into an egg to be reborn as a different version of himself. For those who don't know, when a Digimon dies, they turn into an egg to be born with no memory of a previous life, as the circle of life does. A black Agumon is watching on. Gamamon doesn't remember anything. Bakumon thought that the game could bridge between the human world and the Digimon. I like this episode. Being hunted down by an assassin is scary, and I think they did a good job of that. Gauss Agumon, a mystery, but does not get an answer until the end. The very end, basically. He is a big pen, especially since I will argue he's the main antagonist of the show. And it's the fruit of the dangle in front of you. And they want you to bite on, but gotta nip the attention of it. But yes, I mean, a lot of the complaints of the episode's faults at all is just the overall story and how it's written's fault. For the last episode, like, Gallus Gargamon can talk to Gamamon, but like, he only does it but once. Like, Gamamon doesn't know, like, Gallus Gargamon's a thing until then. Like, you can have, like, Gallus Gargamon talking to Gamamon introduced so much conflict and so much ideas, but we didn't do it until the third to last episode, which is episode 64. Oh, 65. 65. My count was off by one. But besides the point is, he kind of does nothing until then. He says stuff, he says the same stuff, really. And then, yes, he just wants to make sure you don't forget about him. But again, that's another round. And again, everything else is fine. Like, this is a really good episode. And by the way, knife gun. I bet a lot of Digimon didn't have a knife day because they got stabbed in the head. Anyways, moving on to episode 14. A Digimon wants to play ball. See, but okay, so this is my thing. We know it's a Digimon. It's always a Digimon. So when it's like, oh, it's a Digimon, like someone's doing planks and like, oh, it's a thing and wants to play ball, or like pull the plug of a hot spring so it drains. It's a Digimon. And we try to play it up as scary, but it's like, we know what it is. We don't know what it is, but it's a Digimon. So like, this fails on so many levels to me because of that. But anyways, the gang is at a beach resort because Kiryu has a conference and he's scared of the legend of Zakichi Wodachi. But Zakichi Wodachi has a favorite ball. Gamamon doesn't understand death, so he thinks Bakumon is on a journey. I hate this. You know why I hate this? Because we refer to Hero's dad on a journey. Gamamon is basically like a kid. That's what he's treated as. A kid, and that's how he acts. So when you think that's fucking confusing to explain to a kid, hey, Bakumon went on a journey. My dad's on a journey. Everyone's on a journey. This is supposed to be the aftermath. And it's like Regina and Talking About Big Top. How the fuck did Talking About Big Top handle a topic about grief better than you? It's Talking About Big Top. Anyways, Gamamon's Regina. And I'm not sure if Gamamon fully grasps the concept of death because he uses different words for things. So maybe he lately understands that, oh, death equals journey. Or like in his vocabulary, journey equals death. You know what I mean? Like how champions equals chocolate. But that's hard to pick up. And again, the way that they describe to Gamamon what happened to Pokemon, that would confuse a kid. Because Pokemon as they know him, doesn't exist anymore. He's gone forever. I mean, sure, there's a Pokemon to replace him, but it ain't the same Pokemon. But anyways, Kurshi's professor saw the ball-loving Digimon and left marks on his arm. Which I'm not sure if the marks even come back up again, to be honest. Kurshu sees the Digimon too, but Hero walks in and doesn't see anything. The ghost seeing Kurshu and messed with the beds, but it was of course for Digimon. Kurshu made Hero stay up all night. So, the ball belonged to a lady that used to work at Ruzo and the gang is staying at. The Zakiroshi, before I continue, I also forgot to mention, speaking of Hero's dad gave him new digital world fields to use, like ice, desert, etc. That's not really a point. It's a point once, really, honestly. I mean, you see them used, but it's only used strategically once out of 67 episodes. But anyways, besides the point, and it's even in this episode, so they hold on to the card. I think it's literally like 20 episodes later. Anyways, moving on. Zakichi Wohishi really isn't doing much, just playing the piano, ball, crying. Like they ain't scary because again we know it's a Digimon. Like the thing with Supernatural, and sure we keep you guessing on what's what and what like how things work, but like they mix it up enough. Like oh sure it could be a ghost again, but like they could do a spoof on like ghost finding shows.
Yeah, we're not hellhounds anymore. Okay, didn't test that well.
What's going on?
They're not cops, buddy. No.
That were popular in the early 2000s. There were a lot of those in the early 2000s. Like Cartoon Network had one. I forgot what it was called, but that's back when it like they decided no more cartoons live action. But anyways, I mean I did like build destroy because I like seeing things go boom boom. But anyways, besides the point, Black Diamond show. Oh, he was. I thought it was earlier. My bad. Black Diamond shows up with a new USBs with a new digital world field. I explained that earlier. I thought that was earlier. My brain really wanted to get that information out, apparently. Hero wonders if Gauss Gargamon knows anything about the digital world, but everyone's like, don't be stupid! Don't try to bring that thing out! But Digimon drains for pool and steals underwear, but getting used for ball as bait. But Digimon just wants to play ball and watch fireworks with old staff member. But Digimon of the week is Korimon. Korimon is waiting for the old staff member. Gamamon digivolves into Beta Gamamon to make fireworks with Jellymon and Korimon. Korimon materialized because so happy. The old staff member love to see her son Korimon goes on a journey. I don't like this episode. I thought it was going to be an episode about grief, accepting it, dealing with it. That's why the route it seemed like it was going, but it seems like, nah, we don't want to do that. Pull up last minute and just like, here we go. And I'm like, this is such a bad episode on every angle. I can't find enjoyment in anything. Honestly, the mystery is lame because again, it's a Digimon. It's sure you get fun with what Digimon it is, but with like Supernatural with ghosts. Every ghost kind of looks kind of differently, so it's like, okay, there's a different way to deal with this and that and this. It shows different ways to deal with Digimon, but like, it ain't like a mystery of like, ooh, is it a Digimon or not? It's built differently in Supernatural. I'm only comparing this show so much to Supernatural because I'm currently watching it. And they have fun with it. They play around with the formula a bit and go balls to the wall. And Ghost Game sometimes want to commit super scary, and sometimes like they can't make up their mind in terms of tone and stuff. How much they want to do, how much they want to push the envelope, and sometimes they seem like nah, we don't want to go too far, and it's not consistent. Not saying Supernatural doesn't have its goofy moments, but like it also keeps in mind stakes, and Digimon Ghost Game does not do that at all, because what was the danger? Like, what was the danger in this episode? For ball-loving Digimon? Korimon? No. He wasn't a threat to anyone. And so it's like, oh, the mystery of it, again, the mystery is there. Like, it ain't complicated. It wasn't fun to enjoy, but cop out, but good character development moment for Gamamon. But not making it about grief. Ugh. Like, this episode frustrates me. So, yeah, but I hate this episode. Episode 15, Mephisto is telling fortunes and will end up turning people into stone. Tell you fortunes like, oh well, you're gonna get misfortune and then stoned. I mean, that's very much filling in for fortune yourself, though. Rui and her friends want to find Mephisto fortune-telling tent due to its just traveling around, and one of her friends wants the telling. Jellymon found one of the stone humans. They really didn't try to hide very much. Mephisto's using Digimon to turn people into stone. It seems like Mephisto wants to torture people. Isn't he lovely? Jellymon tells Hiro and Kyoshiro about a stone human and shows them the human. Rui knows that Mephisto's tent, so Rui found it. Agumon says he knows something weird about it. Rui snuck in and sees all the stone humans in the back. Boogeyman and all the minions this week Theo is making the boogeyman materialize. Remember, kids, to silence your phone when you're sneaking. I go sneaking like I'm snake. Mephisto wants to consume the human world and brings in the release flame that wants the fortune telling. Agumon forklifts to save the day. I'm sure that's an ultra violation, but hey, he saved 2 lives. You know, just saying. Or maybe he was watching Commando by like Arnold Schwarzenegger and learned how to drive a forklift that way. Like, because I'm pretty sure in that movie, like Arnold Schwarzenegger drives like a forklift into a gun store so he can get some guns. Like, follow me the easiest way to break into the gun store. Let me steal this forklift. Pretty sure that's what happened in that movie. I know he still some kind of form of heavy machinery. But besides the point, Willie and her friends went away. Willie uses the digital world field. Agumon digivolves into Sample Agumon. Yeah, he finally gets an evolution. Then Agumon beats the boogeyman with the greatest of ease. Mephisto turns into Pharasmon, Father's Job, which causes Pharasmon to flee, and he just unstores people. Willie's friends don't fully understand what happened, but don't question Willie about it, because God forbid we get some development of a dynamic here. And this episode's fine. I think what brings this episode down for me is like, again, when I mentioned with episode 11, I think that's been a better evolution episode than this episode. But, like, other than that, I mean, it's like, there's nothing wrong with it, but, like, there's nothing great about it either. It's there. I mean, I'm happy that Agumon finally got his evolution. I mean, it took long enough, to be honest. So, there's that. But I have nothing much more to say, nothing interesting about, like, villains or anything like that, but, yeah, so. Moving on, and again, before, I guess we move on again, but don't try to update dynamics of characters, so, you know, not, like, ending with, oh, her friend's questioning her about, like, hey, what's going on with you? Like, what are these creatures? It's fine. It's fine, who cares? But, moving on. To episode 16. A guy is running from trees with eyes, but couldn't leave in time and became one with the trees. The little axe would be very jealous. Hero is going camping with Gamamon. Customers have been leaving without paying at the campgrounds. I mean, I feel like in America, you would leave your credit card with, you know, give them your credit card information before going to the campgrounds. Because that's America, I guess, when it comes to those certain things. People are being said to be spirited away, because, you know, we gotta make it creepy. Gamamon is way into camping, which is good to that he has a hobby. Guess Gamamon is still a mystery that we're still thinking about. People cutting down the forest gets treed. Hui and Kyushu learn that Hero is camping thanks to Jellymon hacking and, like, Googling about the sparing away, so they're like, oh, we need to check on Hero. Hero and Gamamon met the trees, who, like, the trees just, like, pass through Gamamon when, like, Gamamon tries to attack them, so I guess Gamamon passed through the trees would be the proper way of phrasing it. We get eye leaves again. Hero gets grabbed by the trees, but Gamamon saved him. Cherrymon's behind the tree attacks. I love the name so much. Mori Cherrymon, no bias. Oh shoot. No, your veil is falling off. No! Yes, Mori Cherrymon. Love the name. Mori Cherrymon protects Hero and Gamamon, allowing them to escape. The others go and check on Hero. Cherrymon has been eating people alive, and slowly that's how he gets stronger. Mori Cherrymon is protecting people by putting them to sleep because he doesn't want to lose the followers. Cherrymon attacks and is winning. Gamamon digivolves into Battle Gamamon. Hero doesn't want Battle Gamamon to burn Cherrymon to death because he doesn't want, like, Battle Gamamon to become like Gouge Gamamon. Others show up to help Hero the retreat. Cherrymon attacks again. Team attack destroys 2 Cherrymon's arms. Cherrymon retreats. Everyone's somehow okay. Even the ones that Cherrymon ate. This episode's okay. I do like the possible conflict of, oh, don't want to kill Digimon, don't want him to be like Galaxy-Mom, but they really don't too much with that. I think that might, if I'm not mistaken, be relevant in like 1 hour episode. If I'm not mistaken. Other than that, I mean, I do like that it's like a Digimon. I mean, for its own self purposes of not wanting to lose the foes, but like, I like how it's a Digimon that's helping humans instead of just the ones that attack. So that was nice to see. And Gaomon was very cute in this episode. So I think that's all for 16. Episode 17. The gang is at a power plant that Kyoshiro helped build as he wants checks on the system. And the power plant is good for the environment, it's unmanned, but it needs checks by humans. So, like, when you want to have people there. Anyways, besides the point, this just seems stupid. A Digimon attacks by freezing the power plant. The Digimon is called Frozomon. Kyoshiro pisses Frozomon off by telling him to back off. Rui's going to see what she can do since she's fallen one outside. Gaomon digivolves into Bear Gaomon for warmth. Giantmon digivolves into Tesla Giantmon, where he went back inside the building, but she couldn't handle Frozomon, which is... Well, going back inside was a dumb move. You want to stay outside the freezing building, especially since you don't have a Digimon partner with you. It is negative 25 Celsius, aka negative 13 Fahrenheit. In the building, Frozomon crashes into the building and runs into Wooly. Koichiro tries to use spare walls to help Wooly escape. Wooly is now back outside, the safest place to be. Bubbles tried to leave, but went to Frozomon. They went back to the control room. One of the drove Mayo one for it because they ended up behind Frozomon, and you know what's behind for Frozomon? The exit. Unless that's how it feels like to me what happened based off of a choreograph. Like, they got behind him. Anyways, but based off of that too, like, if they can make it back to the control room from being behind him, again, couldn't make it one. Oh, like, destroy a wall. Oh, do anything else. Kyoshiro made Womos inside, which is BS. There's no way the systems were all working after being code for as long as I think it has been. So Frozomon just attacks the building again. Everyone besides Tesla Jellymon passes out because she can keep herself warm by shocking herself. Tesla Jellymon saves Wooly, and then that moment when Wooly's like, oh my god, everyone's dead, and then Tesla Jellymon slaps them, and it's like, snap out of it, come on, we gotta do this. A bunch of Digimon come to help Frozomon. Wooly got them to save everyone, but Digimon trying to find a cold place to live. Frozomon just charges straight ahead, and the power plant was just in his way, so he decides to freeze it so the Digimon can pass through it. I think this episode is fucking stupid. I am sorry. Yes, the horror of being frozen to death is scary, but the gang, act extremely stupid in this episode. You could digital world field, so you're not destroying the power plant, destroy a few walls, get out. I mean, sure, you have to deal with Frozomon, but at a certain point, once you get back freedom, it does, you're not trapped in a building that's below 0 degrees. And then the fact that Frozomon is just doing this because, God forbid, you make a slight detour around a power plant, it's also pretty freaking stupid. That's, it's just stupid. Digimon can't handle, most Digimon can't handle the degrees you were dropping it to. So, no matter what, you're putting people in danger, and he just didn't give a shit. And it's for the dumbest reason. It's not interesting. It's stupid. But save this dramatic moment between Tesla, Jellymon, and Wooly, and it doesn't work for me because everyone is being stupid in this episode. So it's consequences of our actions. Moving on to episode 18, Piamon is taking children to Never Everland. Is Neverland and is Peter Pan public domain? It might not be, I don't know. But Never Everland. Save Fear away. Hawkmon go to Hero to save a human friend Kazuma is missing for like a week. Clockmon is telling Digimon and need to look for Hero because he can't say no. And he was like, yeah, that's true. Koichiro is obsessing over an anime called Mystical Detective Elf, and it's helping the Hawkmon while Hero is at school. So yeah, this Koichiro doesn't have to take classes, so he's literally just there living in the domes, being a dome Leo. I'm surprised the school allows that, but sure, whatever. Koichiro broke into Kazuma's home when his mom is threatening to call the police. She's like, Koichiro is just having the time of his life, and this poor mother, like, doesn't remember her son existing. And Koichiro is just like, oh, look, your son. And she's like, oh, my head hurts. Oh, like, get out, like, stop it. And he's like, I'm having the time of my life. Until you realize, oh, this is a serious issue. You think someone disappearing would be a serious issue, but not serious enough, apparently. Digimon are disappearing too. The whole gang is on vacation now. They find Piamon, who can smell children. Like, he goes like, children smell good, adults smell bad. Do with that as you will. Jellymon digivolves into Tesla Jellymon. Hero now, for some reason, thinks Gamon's evolution is too unpredictable, even though it seems like Gamamon has had the perfect evolution for every situation. Well, we need a conflict. Even though there's plenty of conflicts we could have picked from our way, we just had to make one that is a non-issue. Piamon, well, besides Gallus Gamamon, but that only happened because Gamamon got pissed off really badly. So, chances are you don't have to worry about good old Gallus coming out. Piamon takes the Hawkmon to Never Everland. Piamon made everyone forget about him, but they had videos, so they remembered, so what's the point? The gang lets Gamamon get kidnapped so they can get into Never Everland. Piamon really wants children to stay children. No talks of growing up, none of that. No evolution talk, none of that. Piamon leaves Never Everland and the gang got in. Piamon is back. Angomon digivolves into Sampler Angomon. Jellymon digivolves into Tesla Jellymon again. Piamon is making the kidnapped children attack. Hawkmon digivolves into Okomon to save Kazuma from having a nice day. The Okomon are waking everyone up. Gamamon digivolves to Worse Gamamon. Digimon are evolving at will, which makes the kids want to grow up. Hero got Piamon to believe that there are good grown-ups. And here is Captain Hookmon echoing Hero's thoughts, and Piamon goes with Captain Hook. This episode's fine. Again, the conflict of Gamamon's evolutions is non-existent. It really isn't. Like, if they didn't do a conflict that wasn't a conflict. It ain't like Ben 10's transformation, so it's like, oh, well, it's random. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like Gamamon is picking his evolutions on at least some level.
Oh, Ripjaws. What a rip-off.
And then Piamon is the fine Digimon of the week. Not too much to complain. And, you know, you can argue the level of creepiness by his role, how he, like, only likes the smell of children and stuff like that. But to me, it wasn't like, oh, so spooky. Like, again, it's like one of those things that I feel like this is an episode from, like, any old Digimon series. It doesn't feel like it has to be from Ghost Game. So, moving on to episode 19. A man gets teleported away so a Digimon can play with him. Hiro is having Gamamon go on an errand by himself because Gamamon wants to go off on his own. You know, you gotta let the kids grow up eventually. Angomon thinks the witching hour is about to happen and then really gets teleported away. Jellymon and Koichiro are also following Gamamon to make sure Gamamon is good. Hiro also gets teleported away. So it seems like Really and Hero have been sent back in time, which would slowly become a black silhouette. Which being sent back in time doesn't matter. Really, it just is a background thing. I mean, I feel like they could have saved that for later for time travel. like time traveling, but wasted heal. They could have easily done like, oh, just a parallel world of a real world, but whatever. Piximon shows up to Gamamon. Piximon wants to teleport Kyoshiro, but Angromon stops him. Two silhouettes are becoming Hiro and Rui, respectively. Over time, you just blend into the time period, which again, like, if you blend into the time period, I would think, like, you know, you get creative with it, like, your clothes change, your dialogue change, like, you know, be, like, fun, have fun with it. No, you just become a silhouette, which is kind of boring for, like, again, using time travel. The power of friendship teleports the gang to help Hiro and saves him. Piximon wants the Digivices because, I don't know, the sky is blue. He doesn't give a reason. He goes like, well, I'm helping Hiro and Rui, so I want the Digivices in return. Doesn't explain why. Like, you don't have, like, evolution, materialization. What's the motive here, Piximon? Gamamon, well, unless I missed it, which is a possibility, but I don't think I did. Gamamon digivolves into Bear Gamamon and Jellymon into Tesla Jellymon. Combining attack speed Piximon for power friendship again saves Rui. Angromon digivolves into Sampler Angromon. Piximon is going back in time to erase everyone's dying with Gamamon, but that doesn't work, so they go to the future. And that made Piximon think that Gamamon's amazing. Piximon's now BFFs with everyone. This episode's not. Again, it's a waste of concept, basically, and Piximon has no move, basically. Because he wants the Digivices, but okay. But why? Just because? That's fucking boring. I'm sorry, like, there's really no conflict. I mean, there's a conflict of, you know, Hiro and Rui becoming silhouettes, but, like, you know, there's nothing more to the well, though. What's in the well is what you get. Episode 20. A Digimon is burning houses and people. Hiro and Rui are at a theme park. Jellymon got captured by two Digimon who are looking for Hiro and Gamamon. Jellymon and Kyoshiro are on fire but not being burned as the two Digimon go to Hiro since Jellymon saw him out to save Kyoshiro. The digital warfare is activated. Willy and Angromon are on fire too. The Digimon are Dark Lizamon and Saberdramon. The two are looking for Black Gamamon and thinks Hiro knows where it is. Gamamon digivolves towards Gamamon, and if you leave the file, you would get burned. So it's like a trap, basically. Hiro and Rose Gamamon try to run away. Rose Gamamon de-digivolves. Hiro did manage to run off with an injured Gamamon, but was found again. Hiro twisted his anger. Gamamon wants to fight. We get like a good fight scene when Gamamon goes through his two evolutions. This is where we really step up fight scenes in this show. 20 episodes in. But two Digimon want Black Gatomon so they can go home to the digital world. The two were like trying to save the guy from the opening, but maybe explain to the guy, because they really didn't explain what was happening to the guy. Well, I mean, the guy was freaking out, and he might have still done this because he was freaking out. But, like, for Digimon were like, hey, you know, if they were like, hey, guy, we're trying to save you, don't step up fire, because it's protecting you, but if you step up fire, you will burn to death. That's all you need to say, but they didn't say that. If they were being more vague about it, it's like, well, I mean, what do you expect to happen? They go like, oh, well, the humans were calling us monsters afterwards, we were trying to save this human. I'm like, yeah, but that's kind of what happens when you see a guy get burned to death. It wasn't clear what was going on. And yes, you were trying to save bad guy, but, like, again, you weren't telling him exactly what was going on, so. Anyways. Gamamon beat for two Digimon. Gamamon learned to pick his evolutions, which again, that's a non-issue. But I mean, we got an arc that I feel like doesn't matter at all, but hey, I feel like again, they're capable of flying them. And like, it's fine, like, it doesn't move the episodic nature of the show. A gate is opened by Black Gatomon to send the two Digimon home. The words that Digimon don't belong in the human world are said, which that is reference to in future later on. He will think someone needs to be a bridge between the human and Digimon, but don't really work towards that as a goal. Like, see, that could have been a goal, but like, for characters that are so passive in this show, of it really, like, none of them have an end goal until like the final 4 episodes. So like that could have been a goal. That could have been something to work towards, but no, we're not doing that here. But yeah, that was fine. Like, again, the animation finally like really got really good. Because the fight scenes were kind of lacking a bit in terms of a lacking story. So at least one of those aspects really stepped it up a bit. So, but yeah. I mean, I pretty much already gave my opinion of the episode, so moving on to episode 21. Kanimon is kidnapping people and eating their brains. Oh, look, it's the thing she did in Adventure 2 when she looks like a human. Kanimon is pretending to be Hero's mom's friend, which Hero, that's the first thing you learn in Stranger Danger. Don't trust random strangers to say they're your parents' friends. Well, to be fair, I mean, maybe that's a different culture thing, so maybe I shouldn't be so harsh, but, or maybe not, I don't know, because I don't live in Japan, so that's hard for me to say, but like, still, but that's like the first thing you learn in Stranger Danger, here in the States, so I don't know, maybe the same thing in Japan, but like, you know, what's taught, I do not know. Kanimon invites Hero to go see Bugs. Kanimon says to invite the gang to really think something is off. Kanimon reveals that she's a spider woman who says that she studies the brain for better evolution. Kanimon summons an army of Digimon to attack. The gang gets split up. Jellymon digivolves into Tesla Jellymon, Angremon into Sample Angremon. Hero found a kidnapped human but leaves him when he gets attacked. Gamamon digivolves into World's Gamamon, and Kanimon seems to know about Gamamon's different evolutions, somehow. I don't know, it just does. Koshio knows that there are some cameras and uses the digital world field to bring the ceiling down. Gamamon de-digivolves, Koshio meets up with Rui, and Sample Angremon points out, like, hey, true, you destroyed the cameras, but you're still leaving a path for her to follow. Like, any Gamamon to follow our movements. Gamamon digivolves into Chaos Gamamon and then gets kidnapped with Hero. Everyone is kidnapped. Chaos Gamamon shows up when Kanimon tries to eat Gamamon's brains. Chaos Gamamon inflates, then pops on Kanimon. Like the inflation pod, dislike the popping pod. Chaos Gamamon says it isn't time yet and de-digivolves. Our main antagonist. We see Black Galgomon was watching on to the events. Some of the people lived for spirals. I mean, sure, if they brought back the dead with brains being eaten out, that'd be something. That would be something. I liked this episode. There's enough spookiness. I mean, the fact that they used Kanimon, like, disguise as a human both in this and Digimon Survive. Like, I think, literally, this episode came out 2 weeks before, I got to that part in Digimon Survive, too. So it was kind of back-to-back for me. This game is so much like a Ghost game. But yeah, I mean, the episode's spooky enough for a Ghost game. Episode 22. The Hand Guy.
What's wrong?
The hand? Oh, hail the hand!
But anyways, this is part of the park that Jellymon's set up as a business. Now, the thing with Jellymon's side hustles, I don't understand how she gets the money. Like, what's the purpose of it? I don't see profits. Anyway, but whatever. She's a side hustler with no money. Come again. Let's roll with it. Rui is there to see cherry blossoms. Jellymon is using bubbles to make people fall asleep. Everyone is waking up injured. Jellymon has been using Powermon's bubbles to make people sleep. You get chased by Scar, Greymon, the Dream Worm. And we learn this after Rui and Angremon get put to sleep. And then they are stuck in the loop. Any pain you feel in the dream world, you will feel in real life. So via Danga Wumpa 2. Angremon digivolves into Sample Angremon. Jellymon and Koshio go into the dream world. He was waiting for his phone to be fixed because Gamma had been it. Kyushu and Jellymon got their own Skullgreymon. Rui and Angremon figure out you have to be in range of your Skullgreymon to not loop. Rui and Kyushu meet up. Looping got rid of one of the Skullgreymons. I mean, at least you don't have to deal with two of those things. Depending on the type of dream it is, that's the dream you get from Paramount, whether it's a good dream or a nightmare, just depends on what Paramount is dreaming of. Paramount is too scared of Skullgreymon to come out, and Jellymon digivolves into Tesla Jellymon. Skullgreymon has dream powers. They loop again. Kuroshio realizes he can breathe underwater. Bakumon shows up to Hiro and asks him to send him to Kuroshio so he can help after Hiro got his phone fixed. Just sending Digimon via email for data. It's fine. It works. It's logical. I'm not saying that sarcastically. It's actually kind of smart. I'm not gonna lie. Kuroshio realizes he can control the dream, so we get a nice dream fight with giants and clones. Skullgreymon reforms. Paramount wakes up. Paramount ate too much. Human dreams causing the nightmares. This episode's good. I think it's good fun. At least the fighting towards the end is a bit different since it's Dreamland and Dreamland logic, which is always kind of fun to see, even though they always end up kind of being the same dream fights in cartoons. Well, the cartoon styles, I should say, the stereotype of like, oh, we can do whatever we want. And it feels limited because it's always the same thing. But tropes are tropes, etc., etc. You know, there's only so much you can do. But with it being a trope-ish thing, it's a good episode. Like, you know, this episode doesn't break from mode, but it doesn't do anything bad. So, moving on. Episode 23. Digimon is attacking a human, but Clockmon saved him. Jellymon seems to be more insect than I remember. It attacks Hiro and Koshu. Jellymon runs away, but bug Digimon are active at night because they're bugs. You know, insects, well, they're both nocturnal, but, and awake. What do you call wake during the day? I don't know. Day active? I don't know. Anyways. Besides the poem, Gamamon turned into a bug because of wet stuff coming from the tablet. Gamamon attacks and runs away. Angermon turns into a bug too. Clockmon saves Rui. The gang asks Momimon for help because the thing is a virus. The gang is looking for the Digimon partners so Momimon can look at them. Clockmon sees the red haze and Momimon says it's scales from a Morphomon, but the colors are different than normal. The Digimon attack the human partners. Condiments turn Gamamon back to normal for power. See, look, you ever want to fight Condiment from Batman Batman series as a joke? Look at the situation. He comes in handy. Occasionally. Rarely. But still, you know, call him up. Get his number, you know, make friends with people. Gamamon digivolves into Barrel Gamamon to save Cold Shield from Jellymon. Angremon and Jellymon run away again. Morphumon is captured by a human and is using a satellite to spread its scales. Gamamon digivolves into Rose Gamamon to blow up the satellite. That's impressive range you got there, so. Which burns up the scales Kochu from Morphmon. Clockmon still have a hard drive with Morphmon on it, but it's put above the human, but it's getting shown off to her research co-workers. Everything is back to normal. Morphmon is fine. I mean, this episode's fine. Like, honestly, it depends on your level of what you find creepy on this one. Like, basically it's a brainwash episode, which we have plenty of those in Ghost Game. But I guess the sugar on top is the insect thing. Why that's spooky enough for you and never depends on the person, of course. So, but like overall, this episode's fine. Like, I feel like you could have had a weird Mr. Crocker here, but like this research has never brought up again. Like that could have been a recurring villain. Oh, guess what? But that could have been a recurring villain. Like, oh, guess what? I found digital life. Let's look into it. But no, it's just dropped for them. Anyways, again, a little I know that's like a week by week case scenario, and you don't have to turn like every week by week monster of a week or villain of a week into like a main thing. Like, I'm just again spitballing ideas throughout this review of things they could have done to have like one-off episodes, but also like, you know, moving a plot forward. And yeah, it's not that hard to do. well, quality aside of what, it could will turn out good or not, besides the point, again, they just didn't, I know I keep repeating myself, it just didn't, well, make the cake and eat it too, and they just couldn't eat the pieces. And it shows, it really does show, and you really do feel it, especially after binging 68 episodes of the show. Anyways, episode 24. A guy gets poisoned by a plant Digimon by turning his arm into vines. A robot is watching Yuto, a guy that works at a plant store. A customer got her line planted on the ground. Everyone Yuto talks to turns into plants. Well, half plants. Partial plants. Yuto asks Hiro for help. The plant Digimon attacks Hiro, but Gamamon saves him. Yuto has a robot named GW1. Koshiro gets attacked, but it went away as soon as Jellymon shows up. The gang is watching over Yuto. Kyushu gets attacked again, so does Yuto. Both get kidnapped. The Digimon of the week is Eljetomon. Eljetomon has a crush on Yuto, and this crush developed because Eljetomon was in GW1, so Yuto was talking to her, and that's when the crush developed and became a thing. Eljetomon is going to turn Yuto into an Eljetomon because, she was testing it on humans, that's why the plant parts, but I can feel love as the same species. Eljetomon was talking to people that you talk to YouTube, but not his parents, because you gotta be limited. She's like, why would I hope for people will raise the boy? Come on, common sense. Koshiro right now is 1/4 Eljetomon. Gamamon digivolves into Bergamon, Angromon into Saber, Angromon. The gang is losing. They use Yuto images to distract Jellymon. Jellymon digivolves into Tesla Jellymon. The power frees too much for Jellymon. Yuto rejects Jellymon, so it kills itself by trying to become human. Mommymon made a cure for Koshiro, and I'm guessing the others. I liked this episode. Really, the ending when Jellymon is ripping itself apart to look more human. Yeah, that was disturbing. And probably honestly one of the darkest moments of this show. I don't think they top it, to be honest. They peak about 1/3 of the way there. Give or take. It's a little more than a third, but besides the point. You get what I'm saying. But, classic fall in love, become a creepy stalker, and try to plant all his friends, and actually, really, acquaintances. Like a true plant Digimon would. But yeah, again, like this episode, so moving on to episode special. So we did a recap done by Venero of the show, Nato Takanaka. And the show doesn't need a recap at this point, because nothing has really happened in 24 episodes. But they do, I feel like they were trying to do a spoof on bizarre ghost telling shows like Are You Afraid of a Dog and Ghost Bumps. I haven't really seen those shows, so I'm just guessing in the dark here with how it's set up and stuff. But again, it's boring. It's a boring recap. You only do 2 episodes, episode 2 and episode 4. We don't need an episode 4 recap until 50s, 60s in terms of episodes. I forgot exactly what episode Mom returns, but it's late. That's the point. The Mom only returned, so we don't need a refresh on him. He just returned 1 episode ago. So, as a recap, this fails, too. So, I don't know what this episode's for. Again, you can have spoof parodies and, be fun with it. Supernatural, I'm gonna bring up another one. Channel Chasers, when we go through different TV shows, a medical drama, a Full House, specifically Full House, top of family sitcom, and Japanese game show. Which were 2 actresses in that, Japanese game show segment, very beautiful women. And so is the Full House segment. Supernatural has a lot of beautiful women in it, a lot. I mean, I guess that's the point, but besides the point. Anyways, it's enough drooling over Supernatural actresses. Yeah, I don't get this. I don't get the special. Unless they were just low on I don't know. I just want to give the anime some time, but like, you could have do what Oshino Ko does and do like interviews with the cast members. At least that's something. But anyways, besides the point, moving on to episode 25. So we have Digimon pretending to be humans and vampires. We see Dracmon again. He's hanging out. We get human vampires. We get turned to vampires. We got invited to the company with a vampire Digimon own. The vampire dog knows that Rui has a Digimon. More people get vamp. The humans, vampires are turning others into vampires. Angomon doesn't trust the company. So vampires are posting on social media like nothing happened, but they look like vampires. Like they go, oh, it's just a promotion for this company. A really good makeup and yeah, things and yeah, totally not vampires. Anyways, the gang is spying on Rui to make sure she's going to be okay. Rui recognized Dracmon. Sangomon, who was the dog, attacks Angomon. Dracmon gets killed because he didn't listen to his boss about not sucking Rui's blood. So what's the fucking point of bringing him back? You brought him back to kill him off. Why have recurring characters? I mean, we do have recurring characters. Clockmon. And besides the point, why promise a villain to return like this? Because he's like, oh, I'm gonna get my revenge. And then you kill him off before he does anything. You might as well just have Grandpa Joe there. It's just silly. It's silliness. The boss wants vampires to rule the world and wants to see if the humans that can partner with Digimon with him. Majumon and Melosmon are the other two Digimon. Really sees that Angomon got beaten and the gang are now all together. Gammon digivolves into Baragamon and Jellymon into Tesla Jellymon. Melosmon beats Tesla Jellymon with ease. Melosmon makes the hero feel Baragamon's pain. Baragamon almost loses control, but the hero snaps him out of it by saying, they can get through this. Baragamon digivolves into Weissmon. Melosmon is beaten and everyone's back to normal. And Matromon and Sankopomon just leave. Enough return. I don't know why they were here, besides to defeat Angomon, to be honest. I don't like this episode. For multiple reasons. I will explain the disappointment of Dracmon being, returning to just die. Hero got a Digi-Evolution, but, which is fine, we're on to Ultimates now, so his Ultimate Evolution, fine, we gotta get that ball rolling. But if this was a Ruli episode, if it wasn't a Hero episode, it just feels like Hero took the spotlight and shine on me. But also, this could be what I was saying earlier, about Bandai Namco developing these Digimon for bracelet thing on their own. They might not, this could be a side effect of that. Who knows? Because they again, Toei and Bandai Namco worked separately in terms of that. So who knows, what got produced, what was what, etc., etc. So, that's hard to say. We can only speculate, but that could be a guess here. And then, a bit of a disappointment again of Gallus Gammamon not talking to Gammamon until the last episode, because we could have had a little temptation here. Gallus Gammamon's like, hey man, let me take the wheel, I got this. And then he snaps him out of him. It would just be a little, it would be an arc. You can have an arc. But no, if they don't decide to go that route. Because, again, why would they? Episode 26. So the opening really wasn't made to show past the champion state. So, when we get to the megas, it feels woes, because they make cool, little screens for them. But, it goes by so fast, you can't appreciate them, but besides the point. We see Digitamamon is eating people. Agumon meets Digitamamon, who's an old friend. Digitamamon says he's been hiding for the whole time he's been in the human world. Digitamon's curiosity peaks when Agumon says he lives with a human and wants to meet them. Willie and Agumon show back up to Digitamon's house. The wheel is selling that Agumon and Digitamon are friends. Digitamon shows stuff of the humans that used to live there left behind. Koshiro tells Hiro that Rui is in the Man-Eating Mansion. Maybe show the details of where you were going before you told Koshiro. Just saying, just a tiny bit. Maybe we could have gone through this a bit faster. Digitamon was about to eat Rui when Hiro called, but then he attacks after the call, so... Well, I mean, why wait? Angemon steps in. Digitamon says he's been eating humans. It was an accident at first because he was so scared, but he ate the man from the opening. As it happens, you know, you just eat people on accident. It happens. I don't know why it's called Cannibal Mansion. I think the episode's called that because Digimon eating a human is not cannibalism. Now, if he ate an egg, you have an argument. And like, so he only eats the soul, so the body turns to sand, and he spits that up. The digital warfield is used because the police show up after Hiro and Koshiro show up. Angemon digivolves into Sample Angemon. Digitamon egg is too hard to crack. Jellymon digivolves into Tesla Jellymon. Gammon digivolves into Road Gammamon. The can't be Digitamon. Was Gammon digivolves into Clone Slicemon. The egg has cracked. Sample Angemon is trying to get Digitamon to stop. Sambo Angemon destroys Digitamon as it acts if he is a human or Digimon. A concept that's never picked up again or discussed about how really humans affect Digimon and all that stuff. And it just kind of misses. Again, this is a really episode. And I feel like since he was following one with Ultimate State, I feel like the spotlight kind of gets more shine on him. A tiny bit, but at least it gave Samurai Angemon the final kill, but it was the opponent, a final blow. But we don't discuss the ramifications of what he was afraid of. Gammamon becoming Gauss Gammamon by the killings and all that stuff. Or like Gauss Gammamon, I should say. Which they could explore here, but they don't. And it's just, and like, I hate to bring up Supernatural again. But, like, a important thing about Supernatural, and I think that's why it makes it woke, is, like, people get messed up about, even if it's saved. Like, for example, the episode Chris Angel is a Douchebag. Yes, that's a weird title episode of Supernatural. One of my favorites. Well, like, the main magician at the end of the episode's, like, more, like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna be okay. He gives up magic because he killed his friend, but was trying to, like, get him to, like, join his, evil play of immortality. And, yeah, it's nice to see.
You sure about that? You know, Charlie was like my brother. And now he's dead. Because I did the right thing.
The point I'm trying to make is, yeah, the Digimon eating people. There's no consequences for this. It's just like, oh, people are missing. I mean, I know Cannymon was doing the same thing too, but about had more good things going on than this one. Yes, I mean, maybe I'm a bit biased because I like that Mommy and Cannymon film, maybe, but I do feel like that puts up the cards a bit more, so I'm not questioning that as much. And we don't see, actually, you know what, I'm throwing that criticism of Cannymon episode 2, because we see the humans rescue, but we don't see the aftermath of that rescue of the Seki and stuff like that. See, that's where the true horror comes from and stuff like that. Seeing like, oh, the businessman episode 2, his co-worker's heads get bent off. For all I know, he's going to the local Starbucks to sip on a cup of coffee afterwards, you know? So, you know, I will throw back criticism on Cannymon episode like 5 episodes ago. And I'll also throw out this one too. It's like no consequences for this stuff. And like no one finds out about Digimon until they're told. It's lame. It really is lame. For the most part. But that's when the Digimon wants to be known. So, you know, again, it's just a bit. Episode 27. People are being kidnapped at Wall. He was looking into the just rumors in general when he came across the Wall rumor. Another person gets walled by Splashmon, who wants film. He loves film. He rubs film on his skin. Quite literally, but we get more into that in a second. Gammon and Hero show up. They got a part of Splashmon that they used to track Splashmon down after he left. Splashmon is using human field to make a beauty cream, but he doesn't have enough field to be on the same quality as L'Oreal because he's worth it. Using water as field is like kind of a genius move because like the free trios kind of scale above dripping water sound because it's like, oh, after you hear the full drip, you know, you can be splashed by Splashmon. That's how the rumor goes, but wait, how does that rumor even start? Everyone who encounters Splashmon is a teardrop. Splashmon trains for water in the aquarium so he can like escape while the gang was there. The gang goes to the ship where Splashmon is. Garamon transfers into Beta Garamon, Agumon into Samba Agumon, Jellymon into Tesla Jellymon. Beta Garamon got turned to water, and so does Tesla Jellymon. They use the Ice Digital World Field, so Splashmon cannot go into this water system. This Valentine they strategically pick out the Digimon World Field. And it's smart and not a problem to not make that a completely, like, pointless plot point about 13 episodes ago. They don't even bother using it in the like episode it came from, really. Anyways, at least smartly used it. Samba Agumon managed to free Splashmon, freeing everyone. Everyone is now de-walled. I mean, for 75% walled, but besides the point. Black Agumon takes Splashmon away, and Hero gets allowed to Black Agumon to give to his problem. This episode's good. I think the genius of making water free, like, being a field factor is very ingenious. Well, I don't think it pulls out the skills well, but attempt is nice because that is very small. If you scale water, you can't go anywhere. You can't go anywhere. Water is everywhere. Water is inside of you. Like, it's genius. It's a very smart way to play around with that concept. I know a lot of movies and stuff have done it, but like, again, but it's just so smart. It's there, it's everywhere. Splashmon himself, you know, he wants to be beautiful. He wants to be up there with Junko Yoshima, fashionista. But like, I mean, there's a few Digimon, but I was like, oh, well, to give what I want, the best quality of what I want is to invoke the spell feel relevant to humans, and he gets it. So, like, is this the best one of a bunch? I don't think so, but the episode's still good. Again, can't really complain about this episode. I think it's very fun. And the ship, as a saying, you know, it's nice. It's different. It's a mixed episode. It's about Crayon, even though we don't spend much time, though. I like seeing new places. Even though we do see a lot of new places, they all kind of feel the samey. A bit, so I take what I can get when it comes to stuff like that. Episode 28. Digimon are stealing faces like Koto's. I mean, at least Koto got like a max, but he doesn't seem to care about anything anymore. The gang are looking into the missing faces. More and more are losing their faces. The Digimon of the week is Achuromon, who is stealing faces so he can drain emotion from humans, making them weak because he wants to feel emotions. Koichiro got his face stolen, and so did Rui. And Ramon knows that Mushroom Mom goes to the Digimon gatherings. Shuromon is just steering all the faces. Angormon and Hero asks Mushroom Mom for help because he's having Shuromon. Shuromon is heading to the soccer stadium for faces. Gamamon digivolves into Gauss Gamamon. Hero uses the digital world field as soon as he sees a Shuromon. Because Gamamon digivolves into Quo's Wisemon. The ultimate level evolutions have a time limit, which is stupid, which we will get to, well, at the end. But, yes, it is just kind of stupid. Hero got his face serum. Agumon got a Showmon to return all the faces because he was wearing Hero faces, and Hero agrees to everything. So, we're saying, hey, can you return all the faces? It's like, yeah, sure, why not? This episode is good. Again, the time limit thing we would get to. For this episode is fine, but again, that's more of a larger story beats of Ghost Game. That's the issue. But like, Showmon, fine villain, just wants to feel more emotions, taking people's faces. You know, but that's even is decent out. Spook. Because if you take off the mask, they literally don't have like faces. And then I like the way that the beef a like bad guy with just by weighing Kyo's faces, he agrees to everything. So very clever and smart. So yeah. Episode 29. Jellymon and Koichi are shopping as a plant Digimon spreads pollen, and as Spire Digimon attack the shopping center. Jellymon and Koichi find a lost girl who thinks Koichi looks like an anime character. But pollen makes you like pass out and breathe fire. By all accounts of my doctor degree that I don't have, that cannot be good for you. But spires are Kodo Kagamon. They are poisonous, but they can't make their own poison, so they're getting the poison from somewhere. Koichi can't call to help due to no service. Kodo Kagomon get bigger as they feed. A common trope in Ghost Game and in most stuff, but yes, it is awesome. In Ghost Game, they do that a decent amount. Koichi passes out and wakes up with his limit break, so now he's fearless. Koichi got cut. Jellymon Digivolves to test the Jellymon, and that cut that Koichi got is poisonous, so he's been poisoned. Hiro and Wooly go underground to the shopping, to be able to go to the shopping mall. Koichi tells the kid to wait as he uses the digital world field. Koichi returned to normal in terms of being full field. The Digimon of the week is Tropomon. Tropomon is trying to get with the Kogurumon sucking it, biting into it and feeding off of it, which is how they got the poison. The poison will melt your insides. Isn't that wonderful? Koichi is not giving up, which causes Tesla Jellymon to digivolve into Festusmon. Festusmon can be poisoned, so she's the perfect match, and she made the antidote. Tropomon just wants to find his friends, and for Pollen was a single. Festusmon heal everyone, the cure that found her mom, and Festusmon is being called a goddess by people who saw her. I like this episode. That's a kind of a decent gap between Ultimate episodes, to be honest, because again, they could have easily made the Digitama episode a really Ultimate Digital Evolution episode, for example. But besides the point of that, this is a fine episode. I enjoy this in terms of a good evolution episode for characters that don't progress at all. So I mean, it's hard to say oh, this is a great evolution episode these characters develop, because they don't. This would have been a nice oh, I'm no longer afraid, I shouldn't be as afraid anymore for Koichi, but that doesn't happen. So it's very hard to feel emotionally invested in these evolutions series pass. So it's just kind of just and for the reasoning, but it's still a fun episode, and I like Festusmon a lot. So yeah, I like Koichi looking after a kid too, and again, that's why I'm saying oh, this would be a good episode for him to not be afraid of everything anymore, because you really can't show your feel while protecting a kid like that. You just make them scared. So again, that was an option for them to take. Maybe because I just at this point was very much always sick of Koichi being afraid in my rewatch. I'm just please stop. But again, it is a trait that I dislike. So yeah, moving on to episode 30. A girl slipping up her clothes who used to be friends with one of Rudy's friends. Monzimon and ex-Tyrannomon wants to play. Just want to play. But Digimon turned her dad into a doll because she didn't want to talk about not going to school. The girl's teacher shows up and gets turned into a doll because the girl didn't like him. They're just turning people into dogs for shits and giggles at this point. Her mom is being threatened by the Digimon. Monzimon is fighting Hiro. Regular Monzimon, not War Monzimon. Rui's friend sees Virgo and sees Virgo is jealous of Rui. Rui's friend is turned into a doll. Her mom gets turned to like Virgo's mom gets turned into a doll too because she spoke up to like, hey, you guys should stop this. Rui says her friend's back at Virgo's house, so the gang is looking for him. Koichi and Jellymon get turned to dolls because they just bumped into Virgo. Virgo just wants everyone to turn to doll, every single person. They are destroying the dolls. Rui and Hiro found Virgo. The digital world field is activated. Gabumon disperses into Beta Gabumon, Agumon into Saber Agumon. The gold field is left out due to the Digimon leaving code due to the field being activated. Mazumon says the girl is to blame for her loneliness. But Digimon says that they were only using the girl for fun. If she lets us do whatever the fuck we want, so hey, we really don't care about her. But Sambo Angelmon and Willie got turned to dolls too. The girl realized some mistake and Mazumon goes to help heal him. Bergamon digivolves into Quill's wise mom. Everyone de-dolled after Quill Wasmon wins the day. The girl says thanks to Willie's friends. Willie's friends saw Agumon but isn't pushing it. Ask questions, people. Change the status quo a bit. It's fine. And this bugs me a bit, especially one Pacific episode, but one Pacific episode is probably too late in the series to do anything, but still. I feel like we could have explored more of Virgo in terms of motivations and all that stuff, and make it more interesting than it was. Because they really don't go in depth about why she doesn't go to school anymore, from what I remember, and what I wrote down in my notes. So, but it's unless I missed something, which is possible, I would have liked more detail there. And turning people into dolls, that ain't, I know dolls are typically creepy and stuff like that, but ain't really generally creepy for me, but we're messing up for dolls, but that has no long-term effect. Took one arm off, we just sewed it back on at the end of the episode, so it's fine, no one lost an arm. That'd probably be too much for a Digimon Ghost game. Then again, you have Digimon eating people, so I feel like you really don't have an excuse to say, oh, Digimon can't do that. Well, you have people being eaten, you have, the whole horrific scene of a Digimon trying to be human by killing itself. So, they can do, extreme horror like that. Again, limits of what they can do with a show, but they can do stuff like that. But anyways, moving on to episode 31. We got Gabumon with a body-stealing sword. Agumon learns about the attacks. Hanamon has the sword now and it's been taken over. Agumon beats Hanamon, so now he has the sword and can't let go. Rui's worried about Agumon since he hasn't been back yet. Slicing humans makes the blade sharper. Isn't that lovely? Agumon is struggling to not cut people. Agumon is going weaker and weaker, but his life will be saved if he cuts a human. Agumon attacks Repamon and then runs away. The gang learns that Agumon attacked Repamon. Agumon gets fully taken over. The gang found Agumon. Gamamon digitalized into Gauss, Gamamon, Jellymon, into Tesla, Jellymon. Gamamon de-digitalized due to being cut by the sword. The sword forms into Masamon. Masamon fused with the blade as he was going to the human world, so that's why he needed to hold Digimon and humans to become whole again. He needs the life energy to come out of the sword. Agumon digitalized into Samblangamon. The digital world field has been used. Zabamon steps in to help by turning into a sword. The humans have been freed from the sword. And I'm assuming the Digimon too, so let's go with that. Black Gaimon gives Hiro a letter from his dad, which Hiro only asks the man, which we all have a billion questions, but Hiro only asks, hey, what to do with, how to do with Digimon, which that hasn't been really a problem, to be honest, because Black Gatomon has came in and dealt with them, but whatever. And he was dead since I don't know, so it was fucking pointless love to begin with. So don't even bother to answer any of our questions or anything like that. You just will love for the sake of like a fucking love. This episode's mad, like the soul stuff, but that's the good stuff. But like again, the love to be the ending thing to be left on was me the long way, because you stop something, it's like, oh, okay, we can get some answers. Nope. You know, so it's not like we feel like we're getting closer and closer to a solution. It just feels like, oh, we're gonna dance around this because we can. But moving on to episode 32. Gamma says he made Digimon friend. A fake Gammon showed up at Heroes. Fake Gammon left and the real one showed up and Hero is confused. Hero keeps getting confused by like the fake and real Gammon switching in and out. Gammon is going to play with his friend while the fake one shows up again. Everyone has forgotten about Gammon and he's been replaced by the fake. Jerrymon has also been replaced. Gammon meets Makeamon, who also got replaced. Makeamon was telling like, oh, well, you eventually fade and disappear once people start forgetting about you. The Fate wants to take over the whole dome. The Fate couldn't eat champions like the real Gammon, which snaps Hero out of it. The day is saved by chocolates.
Chocolate? Chocolate! Chocolate!
Gammon digivolves into World's Gammon and then to Cornwise-mon. And the Digimon of the week is called Bessimon. Clockmon would take care of a Bessimon, but this is a good idea. Like, oh, it's scary to be like replaced by stuff, but like it really is. Like Bessimon, it's funny. Like seeing that face dressed up, it's funny. It doesn't really work as a scary thing, at least for me. The face takes me out of it, because this feels like a comedy gag type of episode typically, but it's played seriously. But again, like Bessimon feels like more of a comedic Digimon, so it doesn't work on my on that level. But it's like a good idea though. Like this could have worked if it wasn't for the Digimon that was chosen, if that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, it's not much to say about this episode. Yeah, it exists. And by the way, too, I feel like I should mention this. Crosswise-mon, by far, is the most we see of an Ultimate Digimon. Anglemon's Ultimate form, we still have a few more episodes before we get to that one. And Festusmon are barely used. Don't get me started on that. You really, like when I was benching them, I'm like, oh my god, we don't use those two foams at all. Which is disappointing, but what you gonna do about it? Not much, but yes. Episode 33, Piximon's hanging out with Koshio, Jellymon, and Gammon. Piximon's bomb and Kirachio go to the afterlife, but Jellymon wakes him up. Just wake me up inside. Can't wake up. Jellymon doesn't believe Kirachio about hearing her voice and almost dying. Kirachio gets an MRI, which, if this was America, that'd be hard to give, and just like, I want an MRI. And Mummymon checked him out to see what was wrong with him, but nothing shows up. Mummymon offers to put Koshio back in a state between life and death, but he says no, which I think most people would say no to that. Koshio's not sleeping. Mummymon thinks a dead Digimon is talking to Koshio. Koshio gets hit by a car, so it's back between life and death. The Digimon of the week is Sepkumon, who wants to kill Kirachio by getting him across the river Sphinx so they could be friends. And Specticmon can only be friends with dead things. Bestimon helped out Mummymon in terms of getting Koshio's body to him. So Koshio wasn't hit by the car because that'd be a bit too much, apparently, but he bumped his head on the side of the sidewalk. See, that's my thing. You took the joke route of, oh, well, he dodged the car, but he bumped his head on the sidewalk. And, it feels like it's played for a joke, but, it feels a bit out of place. I'm not saying, man, this guy should have been hit with cars, then flying, and then crash through a building. No, like, you know. But, like, if you're gonna do the whole, oh my god, you got hit by a car, and then back out because you don't want to fully commit to that, it just feels cheap. But anyways, I'm not saying actually kill the guy, but, like, still, point still though. They couldn't get Kirishiro back. Kirishiro is running away from Sepikmon. Kirishiro uses his phone for Beyond to call Hero. Sepikmon catches up to Kirishiro. My mom makes Jellymon and must stay between life and death so she can see Kirishiro. Jellymon made just in time. Jellymon digivolves into Tesla Jellymon. Tesla Jellymon and Kirishiro made it back to the land of the living. Tesla Jellymon also brought back Sepikmon into the land of the living, and now plays with spirits of the forest. This episode's mad. Like, Sepikmon just wanting friends show, and like trying to kill Kirishiro because of it. Yes, that is spooky, like, base idea, but like, I don't know, like, I just didn't feel the fright of it per se, because I think it would be a bit more scarier if it was evolved with a character that wasn't constantly afraid of everything, you know what I mean? Like, I know it's the same three characters that weekly and show if things are gonna happen to them, but like, the point is, like, when you have a character that's scared of a thing and you see them scared of something that is serious, it doesn't have the same impact as if, like, Hero is scared or Wooly is scared. Because that means, okay, this is a bit more serious now, if that makes sense. So, I do feel like that impacted my enjoyment of the episode. And I should say, too, like, because I like Shaggy and Scooby from Scooby-Doo, but, like, the difference between, like, Shaggy and, say, like, Kirishiro, I feel like they have much more going on in terms of personality and, like, comedy and dialogue than that. Sure, Kirishiro does too. He's very smart and he likes anime, but that's rarely brought up at all, I feel like. So, it literally is mostly him being scared, and you can argue Shaggy and Scooby, same thing, but again, I feel like they have much more going on with them than that. Moving on to episode 34. A Digimon is turning kids into lizard furries. Humanoid lizards, whatever you want to go with. Hero is cleaning up his dad's house. A lizard girl is stealing jewelry and can melt glass. Of course, Hero knew the lizard girl, and he goes to see her. Well, she is a lizard. We learned that for sure. The group is looking into the happenings of the lizard humans, or gecko people, whatever you want to call them. Reptile humans. I like to think this Digimon is controlling the government. It's clearly creating the lizard people to control our government. But the human lizards get messages via their phones. They can heat up the hands of us having melting the glass. They seem to only be stealing diamonds so the Digimon can eat it. Willie gets turned into a human lizard. The gang knows where all the diamonds would be, like the main source of diamonds, and of course, bad places where the human lizards attack. And like Kirishiro called for place to be like, hey, people are gonna steal your diamonds, swap them out with fakes. And then Kirishiro's shocked to be that the place didn't do it, and he was like, yeah, why would they listen to a kid randomly call them in to do such a thing? Which actually made me laugh. It's the first time Ghost Game really made me laugh in 34 episodes. With the attempts of humor here and there. The Digimon of the week is Salamandermon, and is eating diamonds to burn even harder. Jellymon digivolves into Tesla Jellymon, Gammon into Battle Gammon. They used the digital warfield, but it didn't get rid of the human lizards. Which I do like, that like if you're affected by a Digimon in any way, shape, or form, that doesn't make you disappear into the digital warfield. Tesla Jellymon shocks up the human lizards to sleep. Battle Gammon beats Salamandromon with a fire extinguisher explosion. This episode is fine. I feel like this episode thinks it's a lot creepier than it is, but like, oh, but human lizards, but like, it's just a brainwashing episode, really, when you peel the lizard layer back a bit. But just nothing wrong with a brainwashing episode. But at the same time, like, again, you're not a gang for Spook that I think you're gang. And yeah, so this is just kind of like an episode of Digimon that I feel like could be in a part of any other series of Digimon. And why I keep saying that is Ghost Game is supposed, the gimmick I should say, is spooky. So like when I feel like an episode, which is a decent amount of these to be honest, could be a part of any other Digimon series, it kind of just like doesn't help what I feel like Digimon Ghost Game is trying to achieve out of the series, if that makes sense. So, episode 35. A guy is attacked by a werewolf. A local old woman thinks it's a ghost. The gang are visiting Willie's relative. They're unclear about what relation she has to this woman.
I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate.
The gang learns of the werewolf. The gang goes to see the old woman to learn more about the werewolf. The victims have claw marks on them. The woman asks Willie to help because she's gotta be sacrificed. It has the Moon Man, which only can be like Willie's bloodline can only be the Moon Man, which this is never brought up again in any other episodes, but like, you can make a big deal about like Willie's bloodline being like part of a supernatural thing. But whatever, why make stuff more interesting and use concepts like that? More people got werewolfed and got mocked. Hiro and Koichiro are worried about Willie's safety since people want her to be sacrificed. Willie had a vision of her past and that made her want to get sacrificed. Willie's pretending to be wanting to be sacrificed to see if it is a werewolf or not. The werewolf attacks by its Mentacomon. Mentacomon knocks out the old woman. Like, he sends her flying and takes Willie. Angelmon digivolves into Sample Angelmon. Bergamon got Poison. Tesla Jemon digivolves into Festusmon, but just gets Poison. But she can make the antidote now. Sample Angelmon digivolves into Lamomon. Lamomon kicks butt, but acts more feral, which would do nothing with. Like, that could be an arc, an episode of really have to deal with how feral Lamomon is and being afraid of that. But it just comes down to really going like, stop, don't do that, don't finish off a Digimon. And that's it. Like once or twice. It's not a big deal. Dragmon comes to get Menacomon and says that it ate data on the werewolf, so it was the werewolf. The werewolf legend started because the werewolf, princess had a thing for each other, but the princess got killed by the village, werewolf attacked. Basically, it's the tale of two lovers.
Secret tunnel! Secret tunnel!
There is a werewolf house. The gang leaves town. I like this episode. Again, they introduced two concepts that the series doesn't expand upon, but I think they could. Again, when I say stuff like that, I'm just borrowing ideas to, again, keep an episodic episode feel, but, also, have interesting ideas to develop characters and story beats. And then, Menacomon, that's a fun little foe, and I like how it was affected by Data that it ate. And I like the werewolf how, it's the wind, but I like that they could introduce actual supernatural along with the Digimon, which they don't do, besides once, really. Or twice after this. But, we get to that. We get to that when we get to those episodes. I should say only one really mattered. The other one had it, but, didn't do anything with it, really. So, do I want to count that? I'm not sure. But it is a thing that happens. But yes, overall, I do like this episode now that everyone has their ultimate forms, which is a plus, even though two of them really don't get used, unfortunately. Episode 36, a Digimon is taking a building underground to turn humans into stones and then rise the building back up. The gang are looking into this with 4 extra people who invite via online. I don't know why. I don't know fucking why. Because... the Digimon. It's a Digimon, Digital Monsters, Digimon are the champions. But we go, oh, we don't know what it possibly could be. It could be spacemen for Martians for all we... Spacemen for Martians. Yes, I know why I said I'm sticking to it. Spaceman for Mars for all we know. But, like, it's... So, I welcome 4 extra characters, even though 3 of 4 don't really have personalities. I take for 1, but at least it's trying to have one. The game can't go back to the entrance of like the cave that they're all in to just look into this, and the people are acting rash. 2 of the guests have been kidnapped underground. They've found everyday objects in the wall. The last 2 guests have been kidnapped. Kuchu and Jellymon get separated. Garamon digivolves into Bell Garamon, Angelmon to Sable Angelmon, Jellymon into Tesla Jellymon. Kuchu, Wooly, and Sable Angelmon get taken. Hero found the stone humans. The Digimon of the week is Gigasmon, who turns Kirishima into stone. Gigasmon is sad, but humans can turn to eggs when they die. Just, you know, like how Digimon can. Gigasmon attacks when he hears footsteps and sounds. Like he's like a digger. He digs underground and attacks when he hears vibrations. Kind of think about like Toph from Avatar, basically. Baragamon digivolves into Colonel Weissmon. Again, that's easily the most used ultimate form by far. I didn't even want to tally up because like I felt it and it was depressing. Just like the old 2 weren't being as used as much, like by far. But anyways, and beats Gigasmon. Gigasmon thinks all humans are gonna die in horrible ways, tragic ways, due to a movie trailer. Gigasmon learns the lesson of hope. This it's just a Mummymon episode again. Like, it's just change up a bit, and like again, that's what happens when you don't have plots. Like a continuous plot, at least a bare minimum continuous plot for your episodes. Like again, it's like Supernatural. I hate to bring up Supernatural all the time, but like again, it's what I'm currently watching. So like I'm thinking of these like, you know, on top of my head because I've just seen it not that long ago. So let's mix it up a bit. Let's go with Monk. Monk is pretty episodic. A lot of episodes don't have part whatever episodes, but like they do enough to drop the threads. Like, oh, you know, there's points to Trui's killer and not like or not or reference it enough. Like they continue the mystery and build upon it. This show has nothing like that. None of it, and it's like it feels like it's running out of steam already. We're about halfway through in the 30s. This show has 31 more episodes to go. So, yeah, it's just, I don't know, this is a very mad episode. I mean, I like Gigasmon because of Frontier. And that's all I can say. I like him from that show. And that's kind of the only, nostalgia's literally the only thing that's kind of making me go, not go, boo, this stinks. So, I can admit that. So, moving on to episode 37. People are dumping trash illegally because, you know, you gotta do stuff illegal because doing it the legal way costs too much money. And this causes the dead to wise. Great job, you couldn't pay for your trash, caused the zombie apocalypse. The gang brings Kyuchi donuts because he's at a day center somewhere else. Rui went ahead with Angelmon as Hero hitchhikes. One seems way safer than the other. Animals are disappearing around dancing because the undead brainwashes them. Kuchu is upset with donuts on fridge. I mean, I don't know what the fuck he was expecting. Jellymon is playing a result for Digimon as she sees the animals getting eaten. The undead attack. The undead can take control of humans. Angelmon digivolves at the same Angelmon, Jellymon, Joe's Hero, and Wooing. The affected are tied up, you know, so they can't attack. And I like how, like, these adults are, like, taking orders from these kids. And, like, if they don't answer questions, like, if they don't explain, hey, this is probably Digimon, you know, this is what Digimon is, blah, 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 blah. If they decide to keep it secret, it's like, how the fuck do you keep this secret? How do you keep a lid on this? Like, again, I hate to put the Supernatural out again, but since, you know, Supernatural is about the Supernatural, Digimon is spooky, you know, similar crossbreeds. Like, when people find out about the Supernatural, Dean and Sam explain to them, like, hey, you know, all the things that are monsters behind your closet, they're all real. You know, ghouls, zombies, ghosts, you name it. Vampires, werewolves, you name it. This is what we're facing this week. But we don't do that with Ghost Game, and that's kind of frustrating because it's like, how does this not get out? How is this not becoming a big old deal than it actually is? And like Supernatural, like you kind of like for people to understand, okay, these guys are helping out, you know, they're trying to keep people safe, and this knowledge seals so people don't panic, and etc. etc. And you don't get that from Ghost Game, and I think like I not a direct comparison for like Supernatural, but like some kind of something to like these issues because it just feels too convenient. It's like Spider-Man 2. No one told anyone that who's like took a picture of Spider-Man. I mean, I know like different time era, and all that stuff, but like, come on, I refuse to believe there wasn't one douchebag on that train. But anyways, the trash dumpers get in. As Vonday attacks again, Gamamon digivolves into Battle. Gamamon, Vonday leave to get more food. Whalemon is the Digimon of the week. I love when they just repeat the name again for the Digimon, like Whalemon, Shusumon, for another example. But digital wolf field was used by the Decimate for effective disappear. Jellymon found Kuchu and digivolves into Tesla Jellymon, where Whalemon eats like the undead, not like the brain control humans, but the undead zombies, and it's heading towards the controlled people. Where Whalemon says it's not enough food, but its like body looks complete after like being separated by like dumped and being destroyed that way. Where Whalemon has a gas that will kill you. Wonderful. Where Whalemon is basically dead right now. It's basically zombie, like running on instincts. Everyone divides into ultimate forms. They use teamwork in a propane tank stuck in Whalemon's mouth to win. Like, Hero was hesitant to kill Whalemon because, you know, he doesn't want Gamamon to become like Gauss Gamamon. But like, that was nice. But I think that's like the only other time there's that reference. I appreciate that, and I would give show credit for that. And I appreciate seeing the ultimate forms for Jellymon and Anglermon again. Other than that, for the zombie apocalypse, basically, it wasn't that exciting. You know, the Trunch Dumpers got what they deserve. And, yeah, I mean, I can't think of too much about this episode that really grabbed me. Overall, I might have been getting tired of the Digimon Ghost Game formula at this point. I felt drained because, again, nothing was going on. And it's fine to have episodic episodes like, I mean, for Batman, I reviewed that, basically purely episodic. But that's a Jobo, I knew what it was episodic to the core, but like, again, Ghost Game's trying to have his cake and eat it too, but like, it misses his mouth. It's just throwing the cake on the floor. So, I think at this point I was just kind of getting tired of Ghost Game. And it's just the feeling of non-progression. But like, again, I'm giving this episode points when it deserves points for. So, moving on to episode 38. A guy gets turned into paper and thrown into a talisman by a Digimon. Hero and Kotor are doing a play for the sister school. Like, the female, like the girl version of Veldome. Not like the sister's like school, if that makes sense. That they aren't related to any chicks that go to the sister school. Well, Digimon took Hero during the play via spell, and most followers the play, you know. Great effects. You know, how did they make reality to the story like that? I don't know, special effects, CG, there, and post. He was invested to below of a play. Like, the play was based off true events, and he took over his body. Damon is the Digimon of the week. We meet Espamon, who's looking for a hero, but doesn't think Hero is hero. And it's the dumbest fucking joke ever. It's repeated multiple times for multiple episodes until, like, the 5th to last episode, I'm pretty sure. Or 6th to last. Somewhere in that ballpark. AKA end of the show. And it's not funny. Because, like, it's revealed, I think, 2 episodes from now. But, 3 episodes. Whatever Espamon's next appearance is, he was that to, like, I don't know if I was about to say Gummymon, because Espamon looks like a space alien gummy bear. But Espamon, he looks like the spitting image of me. And Espamon took that as a 1-to-1. And Yeah, it's not a funny joke. It really isn't. It's annoying. It's kind of like, again, waving in your face, like, oh, Papa Gretchen. No, you can't have it. No, put it in our pocket. No Papa Gretchen for you. And I hate it. Like, I like Espimon as a character. I just hate what they do with him. Dumon is using the human talisman to wear a Shimigami army. Gaimon and Espimon see the Shimigami army and use them to find Hero. Hero's face looks like the Grinch. As, like, legitimately, that's what I thought. Oh my god, the Grinch is in Digimon. As more and more people, like, become talisman and, like, spirits are rising from the grave. Gaimon calls Rui, and Rui and Kyuchi are going to catch a ride on Edgemon to get to Gamamon. Gamamon and Espimon found the control Hero. Espimon and Gamamon free Hero by removing the talisman on his chest. Gamamon digivolves into Rose Gamamon as Dumon tries to stop Rose Gamamon, and Espimon, like, trap him in, like, an endless maze. A labyrinth, if you will. Rose Gamamon digivolves into Colonel Weissmon. Damon is being, and it seems like he was taken over by spirits. Espimon thinks he was in here, or I already mentioned that. It's very unfunny. I was always sick of it by the end of this episode. I mean, Digimon Ghost Game ended last year. I thought Digimon Ghost Game ended like a while ago, and I was like, oh, I want to revisit Ghost Game and see how it is like benching it. But man, I it's like, some of this is like world flashbacks. Like, Espimon's like, gotta find the Wii Hero. I know it went on forever, but godly, it is dreadful. And this is the start of that, so this episode is getting the fun for it. But, the reason I love this episode is they mix the supernatural with Digimon. That's genius! They don't do it again, Willie! This is like one episode with Ghost, but they could be replaced with anything else and they wouldn't matter. It was just like, oh, it's Ghost. Acknowledgement, okay, cool. Like, it didn't affect the story. This affected the story, and, like, that's fun, like, mix the supernatural with Digimon, like, or, like, have, like, an actual vampire looking with Morozemon to be like, hey, you know, we can have a good thing going on here. You know, with your Digimon powers and, like, you know, my normal vampire powers, like, we can work together, stuff like that. I'm not saying necessarily turn out great, maybe a bit fan fiction-y, but, like, this episode put it off well, and it's like, that's genius. Why in the 67 plus 1 special episode do they not do that again? It blows my mind. It blows my mind. But episode 39. The Digimon of the week is Gengurumon, who will turn you into another Gengurumon if you lose to it in a fight. This Gengurumon used to be a Wadomon after thinking he didn't want to become a Gengurumon. Fate has a funny way of doing things to people. Gengurumon wants to be turned back. Hiro and Kyuchi are going to a nature trip. Hiro took Gengurumon with him. Gengurumon is trying to remember that he's a Wadomon, but the urges to attack show up. Gengurumon wanders off. Gengurumon starts attacking people and turning them into hybrids of Gengurumon because they can't fully transform. Gengurumon is now turning into a full-fledged Gengurumon. Rui, Angemon, and Bagumon are trying to help Hiro and Koshio. Hiro feels bad for causing it as Gaimon snaps him out of it. Gaimon digivolves into Better Gaimon. Jellymon into Tesla Jellymon. Rui bubbles me up. The plan is to get Gengurumon to remember who he is and use the Digivice to turn him back. Better Gaimon digivolves into Colonel Weissmon. Again, poor Volo Ultimates. I had to keep bringing that up. I do, like, it slaps you in the face. Wadomon was able to turn back thanks to Gaimon getting his feelings through him. Everyone is back to normal thanks to Bagumon, who removes the Gengurumon data from them. You know what? This is a better episode of Betsumon episode when it's like, oh, Gaimon is being forgotten, his life taken over. I feel like this is about, like, oh, taking over life episode. But this episode's mad because this is, like, at the end of, oh, Hiro says yes to everything, wanting thing. I don't know what to call it. It's not really a joke. Or maybe it's a joke, and I just don't find it funny. I don't know what to call it. Wanting trait. Let's go with that. Wanting trait. Of Hiro not being able to say no to people. And Hiro feels bad because, like, oh, I caused, you know, all my classmates to be in pain and turn to monsters. But, like, at the end of the episode, Koshio is like, oh, well, your willingness to help people is your great strength. after Bakuman shoots him out, of course, you were fucking stupid. But I think the lesson should be like, hey, like, it's good to help people, but it's also, like, good to, like, make sure you're not endangering others. That should be the lesson. But really, it should be. But they didn't do that, and, yeah. Not saying about wounds the episode, but, like, also, like, they don't use the Digivice to heal people again, kind of like how Ben Tennyson forgot Vomitrix to heal DNA aliens until, like, the final episode of that arc. Well, 2-part of that arc, but besides the point. Can, revert DNA aliens back to humans. Besides the point. It's, again, another concept that induced that's never used again. And it's just there. But, like, overall, this episode's fine. Like, I'm not trying to go too harsh on these episodes, but, like, again, they do stuff, and I want to see more of, but, like, never does, and it's just, you could do things with this. Like, going back to, like, this, like, episode 38, like, you could use, the Digivice can heal Digimon who's been corrupted by, like, monsters and stuff like that. Something like that, but, like, again, they don't do stuff like that, so, frustrating. But anyways, episode 40, a Digimon is twisting stuff. For horror. Gabumon won't say that he was top, but this is fucking stupid. He wasn't even mad. He's just like, I want you to be honest about it. And Gabumon's like, it wasn't me. For no reason. Like, he was not like, is that saying you'd be in trouble? Nothing. He was very calm. Very like, okay man, like, it's a woo, but not buying the type. Like, like, he's not yelling, nothing. Gabumon just, because the episode demands conflict. Gabumon's refusing to acknowledge that he bit the tablet. Espimon shows up and he wants help to get his arm untwisted. Hio and Gabumon and Jellymon are looking into it. Gabumon's not talking to Hio. I know Gabumon's supposed to be like a kid, but like still, this episode kind of makes Gabumon unlikable for this one episode. Gabumon befriends the girl that got her hair twisted. Gabumon hangs out with the girl. Everything is twisted. Just everything. Some are so bad that they break, like signs and stuff. Gabumon is having a sleepover. The girl tells Gabumon that he should say sorry for breaking stuff. But he didn't mean to, and she compared him to the dog that they have. Live objects are being twisted like Jellymon, humans, and cats. Not the cats. The girl and her family are also getting twisted. The Digimon of the week is Kaimarimon. In my recording badge, that's kind of funny, but it's two beast spirit Digimon from Frontier, and not in a world, but like in the same recording section. That's kind of funny to me. Anyways, the digital world field is used, but things that are twisted don't disappear. Kaimarimon thinks twisting is beautiful after going into the digital world gate and saw things twisted, and she's like, oh, beautiful. 10 out of 10, everything must twist. Gabumon Jones fight after saying sorry to like Hiro, and like Jellymon and Espimon can fight due to twists. Gabumon digivices to Chaos Gabumon and then into Konowaismon, and then the time limit happens for Konowaismon. Kaimarimon says the beauty of straight lines now after the fight, so she turns everything back. Espimon now stares with Hiro. I don't like this episode. The danger of things breaking. You know how easily the human body breaks, especially if you twisted, like how the things were fucking twisted in the episode. They will snap like twigs. Like my brain is always like, these people are dead. That girl, her guts are all over the walls. Not over the walls, but it'd be like a freaking Twix or something. Like, I hate to be graphic about a child dying, but like, I'm just like, where's the danger? You get rid of the danger. What if you make the threat feel ridiculous? So I don't sense the urgency of them stopping this Digimon Kaimarimon at all, because you got rid of the threat, I feel like, the threat level. Moving on to episode 41. We see a Digimon turning kids into cards after failing to do the type rope. It's a disappointing circus, like the disappointing fortune teller tent. Rui and Hiro went to the circus. Rui firstly took a special invitation to go to the circus at night. Whereas Wizamon and Tubo Cat Mom all the ones to show up to bring Rui to the circus, but they kidnap Agumon instead. Memphis Mom is one of the circus Digimon kids starting to get turned to carded via the tightrope method. Paimon is the boss of the Digimon circus. Paimon wants to make a playing card deck of humans and is wondering which one he gets, but like, if they make it through the kids make it through the tightrope, it's a better chance of being a face card and stuff like that. So this, do well, children, make it cross, cause either way you're fucking dead. Hero and Rui show up at the circus. Paimon turned Agumon into a bunny. I mean, I guess he's already a bunny, but like, more of a bunny. Gammon transformed into Bergamon. Paimon doesn't think there's anyone stronger than him, and the weak must obey the strong. Who beats Bergamon gets to go to Paimon's next card game as Rui plays Paimon in a game of woe, basically. The humans of, like, all the playing cards that they're using. How horrific, you hear the screams when you pick them up. If Paimon wins the one, Bergamon gets hit with a sword of light, and if he loses, his members get hit. It's all tied up, and of course Rui wins thanks to the heart of the cards. The circus members refuse to believe that Paimon lost, even though Paimon accepts it with full grace. Angomon digivolves into Lamomon. Paimon starts defying. Poor Lamomon gets the show appearance and is like, no! We can't have you fight! And like return the kids to normal. I like this episode fine. I mean, I'm a sucker for Paimon. I'm sorry, I love him so much. They got me on the Paimon nostalgia. But, I mean, this episode's fine. I like the circus, a little bit of a different, like, ooh, it's magic kind of a thing. I'm also a sucker for that, so. Yeah, see, like, if we get, like, one-offs that are fun and a bit different, like, a tiny bit different. It doesn't have to be, like, oh, weird and real type shit. But, like, another unique feel, but it's like, okay, this is good. I like this, I can enjoy this, and this episode shows on that. My camera film during when I wasn't recording, so I'm sure it's in a different spot than where it was, in a different angle, and all that fun jazz. I apologize, but it was bound to happen. But moving on to episode 32, a woman gets stabbed by a Digimon because she couldn't show him something red. The gang is looking into it. The gang splits up after hearing what happened from the victim system. Which, how would she know? Well, she knew that she disappeared, but I feel like she knew a bit too much. Mr. Red shows up again to, Hiro and Kirishiro, but stabs Hiro because Kirishiro took, Hiro's wet jacket. On accident, but yes. Oh, Boomon. Of the Digimon of the Week. Now there's one wearing something blue in front of ruining the system. Oh, Boomon wants to sacrifice people, like, so they can, like, become, like, a chain of people like tied together, and after a while they just become a hux of themselves. There's also a black and yellow Oboromon. The digital warfield is used. Kyushu figured out the color thing. Willie managed to get rid of two of them. Angomon digivolves into Sample Angomon. Willie gets taken and drops the field so Kyushu can follow via GPS. There's a green one now too. All the colors of the rainbow. They're like skills. Almost as close. If the black one was orange and the blue one was purple, we'd be set. We'd be set. I mean, I would let the blue one slide if the black one was orange. I'd be like, it's close enough. But besides the point. The Obomon were seeing who would become a Leo based on the number of humans haunted. The captured humans turned to a scarf of a red one because he's a Leo baby. Gamamon digivolves into Gauss-Gamamon after like being beaten. Gauss-Gamamon beats the red Oboromon. The humans are back to normal. Gauss-Gamamon ate for all Oboromon's colors. He ate them. He ate colors. I don't know. It doesn't affect anything. He just ate them. Nom 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 nom. Deletion I'm pretty sure that's what Backpack said in Dova Explore. I'm using my Spanish knowledge from a show I haven't seen since I was a little kid. I'm sure I got that wrong. And then Gauss-Gamamon bounces. I don't even care anymore. But he shows up so little, but he does the same thing every time. He just kind of don't care anymore. Boromon called Gauss-Gamamon the Jet Black Champion, which Crunchyroll Leo calls him a different name but even though it's like the same like words being said in Japanese, they just translate a different way later on. Which I'm not sure if later on is more accurate, if they realized it or whatever. It's the same thing in the Japanese version, so I keep that in mind. Black Groundmon is watching. This episode's fine. Like, again, it's a Gauss Groundmon episode. I mean, he's cool, but, like, again, he doesn't do anything, and I want him to do something, but he doesn't. Again, God forbid the show moves forward. But the Oboromon, they were cool. A nice little gimmick, too, like, for average Digimon Ghost Game episode, where it's like, you gotta have all the colors of a rainbow to survive. Even though black is not a color of a rainbow, just roll with it. Episode 33. Digimon is giving red eyes all over the body to like humans. Well, see, look, Digimon is giving more red eye support to people than Konami. Anyways, Kurochu's friend Emma, who doesn't know how to mind her own goddamn business, is here and gets red eyes and has her own eyes being taken and replaced with like red eyes in her face. The gang has to hide a Digimon from Loose Lips Emma. I believe that's for show's words, not mine. Emma is like covered from head to toe when Hiro and Kurochu meet him. Emma is trying to remove the eyes in the bathroom but failed, and she grew more eyes and wants to know Kurochu's secrets. The red eyes is given to nosy people. The eyes are making people more crazy as they like seek more knowledge or not minding their own business, however you want to phrase it. Emma couldn't stab the eyes with a pair of scissors, but the eyes are making her want to know the secrets again. Emma wants to meet Wooly after Wooly texted about meeting. The gang learns about the red eyes from Wooly and that the body does crumble a bit, like after a bit, just like a cookie, I guess. We don't see it because we just don't see it. So I'm assuming it's like a cookie or Thanos, however you want to crumble. Wooly learned that Emma got the red eyes. The gang told Emma about Digimon to help him, which they should do more often. I applaud this episode for that. But Digimon of the Week is Eyesmon. I guess that's the thing. Eyesmon came out to play after the cover of Emma's eyes. The digital world field is used. Jellymon digivolves into Tesla Jellymon. Angramon into Sembo Angramon. Eyesmon can teleport via the shadows. Gammamon digivolves into Rose Gammamon and then into Chrono Weissmon. And wins the day, cause God forbid the other ones get time to shine in the ultimate forms. Eyesmon is caged like a bug. Jellymon blocked a kiss from Emma to Koshio because he is her darling. And everyone's back to normal. This episode, I like this. See, they did creepy. They really did creepy. It's like, oh, let me try, like, rip the eyes out of the socket in my arms and try to stab them with scissors. Like, that's genuinely, like, kind of horrific. So, like, again, like, I think, like, this did, like, a perfect Ghost Game episode, which is very well. And they're like, hey, you know, there's things called Digimon, but it's just, like, you know, what's happening? Blah, 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 blah. Again, explain that to more people what you mean instead of just like, oh, not saying anything. It makes it more interesting and people understand what's going on. And again, like, even if it's a one-off character, we never see ever again, like, Billy Bob Joe. Like, it makes Billy Bob Joe more interesting seeing him, like, react to Digimon. And, like, sure, you can mix up for reactions and stuff like that and what people do in those situations, but, like, anyways, I think that they really hit the perfect Ghost Game episode here. So moving on to episode 44. A Digimon is causing a building to shake. Just for building. Nothing else. A guy at school can get anything for anyone. Another building shakes. Hero buys SBMon food after he stole Gamamon's champions. Hero learns about the shaking buildings from SBMon and saw it happen. The buildings that shake are getting rusted and cracked. Rui and Hiro figure out that his classmates using a Digimon to get the stuff via a website. The Scroom Dome is cracking and rusting. Hiro posts an URL on the website to see the Digimon. Jellymon is behind the Digimon doing the witches thing, which again, she wants to do business, but how is she making money off of it? It's like, what's the benefit for Jellymon? That's what I never understand about her business schemes. But anyways, the Digimon of the Week is and Lamon. Lamon needs materials to make stuff, so we've been using the building's foundation to make, like, for objects. Well, Antelmon were not cancelable. As for digital warfare is used, Gamamon digifies into Banamon, Anglemon into Sambo Anglemon, if the two Digimon go into the ultimate forms. Others can only be cancelled from the customer's devices. The ultimate form's time limit happens, Jellymon cancels everything, and the Antelmon fixes everything. People are mad at the kid for having this stuff disappeared, and we never see the kid again. I'm assuming they killed him. Well, that'd be a twist. But now, Coach K won't go that far. But randomly tied Hero's dad to this, like, almost like, don't forget about him! We're not doing anything with him for another 20 episodes, but don't forget about Hero's dad. But saying he gave the idea to the Enteromon to, like, help out, even though Jellymon, like, give stuff to humans, and, like, make stuff for them, even though Jellymon was the one to set this up, so it's, like, a weird, like, oh, but he was dad's fault kind of a moment. And it's just like, wow, this is so pointless. It doesn't add anything to my Joma. It just feels like, oh, he was dad. You guys still not doing anything with him? Okay, cool. And the Antelmon are getting used recycled materials from now on. This episode's fine. Like, I like the be careful if you're rich for kind of thing with this in a way. Even though the kid directly really was like doing this for everyone, Willie isn't I mean, his dome is cracked, but like he doesn't understand the consequences of what he was doing and stuff like that. That goes back to like, hey kid, you know, you really asking Digimon to help you, and this is what they're doing. And then the kid can go from there, but like doing this is like for most forgettable one-off characters ever, just because you're not doing anything with them. I mean, I know it's like, oh my god, the one-off character gets development, but still, it makes them interesting, it makes them memorable. Like, it just... Anyways, it's just, yeah. It's a fine episode. Like, it's nothing too great, but it's nothing too bad. I give him points for Anglemon going into Lamolomon, even for a few seconds, but still, it's better than what it has been. There's an email newsletter that cannot be deleted, and anyone who calls it dumb, we get hold. Gamamon is playing with Worumon. Koichiro is super into and got Gamamon and Worumon into it as well. Rui's playing out of a newsletter and got hit by a truck. She lived, but she got hit by a truck. Which, actually, how did she live? It's a truck. Well, it's just a freshman. She walked off. 'Tis just a flesh wound. Kyucho got a newsletter, and then it says his skull was fractured. Isn't that lovely? Rui's friends, yeah, again, somehow just fine. SPMon says Koichiro's skull. But one of the from the group is being talked to him. The newsletter says she would die. Isn't that lovely? Koichiro is brave when it comes to his... I mean, I can't blame him. I love my Oshi as well. A lot. Gamamon being Gamamon got the gang to help. It's like, Vo talked to... Oh, look at this. And then Gamamon was just being himself, and that's how we got the end. And they kind of explain what was going on, but not really. I do like the undercover angle. It's like, oh, these are, like, security AI. I appreciate that. It's better than just not saying anything to anyone. I appreciate the undercover story. It still helps, like, you know. The talk supernovas for punishment for losing a cook show that the group was on is skydive, and then obviously that wasn't supposed to happen, but like TV network wasn't like, hey, that's wrong. They just went with it, and it's just like, okay, show, put people in danger, that's fine. It's all about the money, money, money. Of course, that's when the Digimon attacks. Gamamon just runs into Chaos Gamamon. This week's Digimon is Puppymon, who makes events happen just so he can write news about them, like, you know, like a true journalist would. Puppymon made himself fall and kill himself, because, due to whipping his own parachute. Gravity's a bitch, isn't it? So safe questions are being asked about the digital world again, and none of them will be answered. This episode's good. I mean, I'm a sucker for oops, what can I say? The Moe has taken over my life. But other than that, I mean, I feel like we could have done more with the whole journalist angle and stuff like that. Talk about how, like, journalists' ethics have gone down the drain. And, like, you kind of have an angle of, well, he wanted clicks, basically. That's the motivation. Clicks, publicity, fame. So, that's what, you know, stuff like that. But you can talk about, for example, how journalists watch to break news stories. Like, the famous example of, like, the airline, the crash, and, like, the news network called, like, the airport where that happened, or manufacturer, whatever, and guy got on the line, and he gave for fake names. But, like, if you read out loud, you know it's fake. Like, there's no way any, like, for a second you would think those were really real names. Especially, like, read together. And then they went live with them, and people, like, made fun of them because it's like, you guys are stupid because they were watching out to get the news out. Yeah, it's just like there's so many different ways to attack journalism too, not just that way. And I feel like they did, like, the bare minimum of it because we really didn't see Pubblemon at all. He just showed up at the end to die. But you could talk about also more focus on people's obsession with, like, news stories or, like, breaking news or, like, famous people and stuff like that by saying, like, with a focus on, you can be like, hey, like, you know, people's obsessions with screens and stuff like that, knowing all about the Ochi and stuff like that. But no, again, that's another angle to tack it through. I just think the angle that they did tack it through could have been well done. It's just that it wasn't enough focus on the main Digimon of the week to, like, really have that little interesting factor. But I do appreciate too the different, like, fight set piece with the location being a sky battle, which we rarely get really, so I take it. Episode 46. A Digimon mocks Koro and now he's scared of wall. Where have I seen that before? And because he's, like, sees plants attacking him from the wall. Being scared of wall really runs the guy down. I mean, it really would. The Digimon is waiting for Kotaro to be ready. The mock is blooming on Kotaro. The gang is looking into this. Rui gets attacked, but she gets away by smell of, like, a can spray. The mock is a flower, and a goth mommy shows up. Did she really look like a goth mommy? I don't know, that's what I have in my notes. And gets ready to eat Kotaro. Everyone just falls into the champion states. The Digimon of the week is Olamon. The gang get mock and capture. I mean, you could all just digivolve into your ultimate forms, but whatever. Sambo and Agamon plots his way free by saying he can cook better and got the mocks removed. The digital world field is used. By using the power of smell and small explosion, the gang wins the day. Again, they tried to tie this to Hero's dad, but, like, a flashback of Hero's dad called Olamon's cooking, like, saying that it smelled like a human but hasn't showered in days, so that made Olamon want to eat a human. Show. That makes, I mean, because a lot of things smell, like, you know, taste and smell very strongly correlated, so I get the logic, though. But, like, really? That's the, like, again, it just feels like Hero's dad's the thing, instead of, like, oh, Digimon likes to eat stinky humans. Like, that smell. It's unnecessary, that's the point. Like, if you did the whole, an arc of Hero's dad accidentally causing harm with good intentions, and that had a payoff, that would be different, but it's just like 2 episodes. We all cover for 2 episodes, and it's pointless. It really is pointless. Omon has a cooking YouTube channel now. This episode's meh. Again, they already did the scale wallow thing. Well, I mean, I like the Flashmon episode better. I think I did a bit better. And again, Digimon have tried to eat people before too, and have successfully eat people too. So it's like combining 2 ideas into one. And I don't think they made that interesting. They could have. Like, they could have, but, like, after like I feel like there's nothing after like you see Kotaro being scared of water for a bit. I feel like after that it just kind of becomes empty until like the ending, if that makes sense. So moving on to episode 47. A dying Digimon, Sharomon, is being told that his memories will be saved, and those memories are being put into a human who gets digitized. Sharomon is popping in and out of the human, and Kotaro sees this. The gang is looking into the case. The human is hearing Sharomon in his head. SBmon is talking to Angromon, but he knows nothing about, Digimons popping in and out of humans. Sharomon is taking over the body when the human sleeps. They go to Mommymon, but Sharomon threatens the guy not to get looked at. Sharomon takes over the body again. Mommymon says it's bad due to, Sharomon going against the nature of Digimon, but, returning to egg. Reject godhood, return to egghood. Sharomon is stuck in the guy after materializing. Daemon is the Digimon of the week, and he's the one to put the memories in the human. Daemon is making Sharomon fight. Gabumon digifies into Bear, Gabumon, Jellymon into Tesla, Jellymon. Daemon goes to find a way to be reborn with his memories. Mommymon and Rui came for the save Tesla. Jellymon used Estimon as a magnet to capture Daemon, which is very funny and very smart. Tesla Jellymon digifies into Festusmon to be able to teleport Sharomon out of a human. Sharomon dies because nature has to run its course. Black Gatomon takes Daemon and another letter to heal his dad. I like this episode. I think that the theme of not letting go, or just dying, because who isn't afraid of dying at least a little bit, is very good, and I like how the way they tackle it, and they made a good whole film about a Digimon being stuck in a human. I think that was very smart, and again a very creative way of magnet SBmon being the solution to the fight. So yeah, I do like this episode. And again, points for Festivemon being a thing. Episode 38. A Digimon is making a bride go mushrooms out for and kidnap them. The gang is at a wedding. Rui gets picked to be wedding dress her motto. Jellymon wants a wedding dress too. Rui gets mushroomed and kidnapped. Hero learns that brides and wedding dress all of them have been kidnapped. Apparently, the spell makes the mushrooms taste good, so that's why Digimon are kidnapping brides on the happiest day of their life, so they could just feel despair. Hero and Gabumon have been kidnapped along with another bride. The Digimon is using a silver to find brides and kidnap them. SBmon and Angromon get shown where Hero and Velvet are by Geromon. Welmon digifies into Gurumon because he wants to save Gabumon. He does fucking nothing in this episode. He just digivolves and that's it. And it's like, what's the point? What's the fucking point? The digital world field is used. The Digimon love Rui's mushroom because of the Digivice making them taste better. The Digimon of the week is Sharobomon. Kyosho, Jellymon, and Gurumon meet up with SBmon and Angromon. Jellymon digifies into Tesla Jellymon. Sharomon gets a bigger. Everyone gets shroomed. Kyosho's mushrooms taste bad because I think it's because he's always a pessimist. So there's no despair for him. So he ate the mushrooms himself because he got offended that Sharomon didn't think his shrooms taste good. But he thought they taste good, so that's all cannibalism, isn't it? Anyways, Tesla Jellymon digivices into Festusmon. Festusmon beats the Chambomon and heals everyone. Gurumon did nothing. I don't know why he's here. Juromon takes the Chambomon away so they can eat the mushrooms. This episode's fine. I think they did a good job of showing horror go without it being gory with ripping out the mushrooms out of people. But that's kind of a bit it. Other than the pointless evolution, I guess I should say this episode's fine. There's nothing bad about it. I mean, it's another feel we gotta invoke feel into the humans for our needs episode, which we have plenty of at this point, but, I mean, it does it well, and it does it in a bit of a different way, that it's not oh my god, this is the same thing again, type of a way. So, I do appreciate that. Episode 49. It's Halloween again. A Digimon is making people who dress as witches into actual witches, and who is not dressed as a witch into rats. The gang is all dressed for Halloween. Two of Rui's friends get witched, the rest of her friends get rat. The witches fly off, just all the witches and all the rats, basically. The red clouds, the gang go undercover as witches. The goal is to make a witch world. The Digimon of the week is Witchmon. I'm saying witch too much. And she raises a chasm. The gang got found out due to the fact that I have no magic. I mean, makes sense. Hero and Cascamon are after Witchmon, while the others deal with witches. Digital World Field is used. Pumpmon comes in to save the day. Cascamon digivolves into Colonel Weissmon. Witchmon stops as soon as Halloween is over and everyone turns to normal. Witchmon's magic goes up on Halloween, and she just wants friends. Witchmon asks Gaimon if he's the Dark Conqueror. Again, that goes back to the whole different translation of the Jet Black Champion to Dark Conqueror. It's the same word in Japanese, same phrasing, so I don't know. I'm assuming the Dark Conqueror is more accurate, so they changed it, but yes. And he has no idea what she's talking about. Witchmon and Pumpmon disappear. I do not like this episode. It's a Halloween episode. They did the same thing. Pumpmon just wanted friends. Witchmon just wanted friends. I mean, Pumpmon coming back is nice, but like, it just reminds me of how this is exactly the same episode. So, thank you for that Ghost Game. It's just, you could have done something different. You could have had a Halloween special again with Witchmon, but like, anything else than what you did would have been fine. Because you just, again, copy and paste Pumpmon's episode, so I didn't get much enjoyment out of this. Unfortunately. Episode 50. A lonely guy made friends with Pichimon. The gang found out about Pichimon, but lets it go without telling the guy about Digimon, which is the biggest mistake of this episode by far. Pichimon likes to copy the lonely guy, asks for the same thing in return, like, oh, if I open the door, you open the door too. Pichimon can change people's emotions, but when the lonely guy can't change people's emotions, because like people get angry at the lonely guy, so like Pichimon made them like understand, hey, be more understanding basically. But when the lonely guy couldn't do that in return, she gets mad and tallies the point, and have his 3 tallies. Pichimon digivolves into Metal Crocmon, and I'm guessing they went with Verkilia's form because of Try, and it even wants to become May. Brain synergy. Metal Crocmon is freaking out for the lonely, like everyone out. The lonely guy, just everyone. Metalcon is being too demanding with the fact she wants to be replayed with the same exact phrase, so she wants to turn the lonely guy into a Metalcock mom. So basically, she's like, oh, you can't squish an apple to make apple juice? You went to buy apple juice from the vending machine? Like the dude's trying. Like, you know, he's actually trying to do the stuff. But yes. So the lonely guy is running away, and my Crackmon is giving chase. The digital warfield was used. Gamamon digivolves into Gamamon, Jellymon into Tesla, Jellymon. My Crackmon blames the gang for making the lonely guy disappear and made clones of herself. My Crackmon was winning, but Hero protects World's Gagamon by making her jealous. World's Crackmon digivolves into Colonel Weissmon. Tesla, Jellymon to Fesismon. The gang explains that Digimon and humans are different. Milkcrackmon tells the lonely guy that she hates him and that he should make friends with other humans. I don't like this episode on several fronts. One, we have a Belle obsessed girlfriend Digimon thing going on like 25 episodes ago. With the whole how you pronounce it? Like Elgemon? Hold on, Elgemon? For Plan 1. I can't remember the name exactly, and I don't feel like looking back at my notes / script to describe it. Oh, find the name. But for Plan 1. And I also don't like the lesson is humans and Digimon are different. Yes, but I feel like the lesson should be like, you do nice things because they're your friends, not to be repaid. I feel like that should have been the lesson, but I feel like that's a better lesson, especially for people who quote-unquote are trying to be bridges between humans and Digimon. They're not doing a very good job at it. And yeah, so like, I really don't like this episode on fronts and but that being said, I think this is probably going to be the most remembered Digimon Ghost Game episode because furries, I'm being honest. This can't be like for one episode, but everyone knows, plays it, watches it, and loves it because of that. There's just nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, compared to the rest of the bunch, I can see that very much being the case, and probably always is the case. So, that was that. I'm laughing because I wish I could say there were more memorable episodes of Ghost Game up to this point, but there really isn't. And for me, this one sticks out for that exact same reason, so moving on to episode 51. A lot of Headless Nights cut ago, Black Garamon leaves something that boosts the senses of the Digivices, which we get to it. The gang is looking into the Headless Ghost, but go from earlier can't wake up. Another victim of the Headless Ghost, and then the ghosts are like the people that can't wake up. So if you can't wake up, you turn into the ghosts. Kyoshiro gets ghosted. Everyone who was attacked was in the history club besides Kyoshiro. But history teacher knows something. Gatsumon tells the gang everything and opposed to a Duohan. The history teacher brought a Dark Knightmon's head and wants it back. I mean, understandable. Dark Knightmon returns everyone to no one and gets his head back. Dark Knightmon is mad of how his head was treated, and so he attacks. The digital warfare was used. Angelmon digivolves into Sambomon, Garamon into Battle Garamon. Dark Knightmon is too strong. Battle Garamon de-digivolves, and Sambomon Angelmon too. And then we see what the upgrades for. It's just Warp Digivolving, which is lame. Garamon Warp Digivolves into Coral Icemon. That really, like, some series don't have Warp Digivolve like that. Like, the original Avenger series only has Warp Digivolve from Wookiee to Mega, and that's it. But, like, other series just have it because animation, man. Like, you don't have to go through all the different forms. And I feel like they only introduced Warp Digivolve from Wookiee to Ultimate in this series because they're about to introduce Megas. So they go like, wow, we don't want to go like Wookiee Champion Ultimate Mega. That'd be silly. So we just get cut the champion out. Or have him always be in the champion state. It's lame. It really is lame. But anyways, Dark Knightmon yields because his armor cracked. Dark Knightmon lost his head by the digital gate cutting it off. This episode's fine. Like, the Dark Knightmon stuff is fine. Like, I have really nothing to complain about. It's different enough. Yeah, I think the Warp Digivolving stuff is lame. And again, that's just... And it's also an upgrade to introduce, like, the new Digivice as a toy. So it does actually kind of feel that way, too, but how it's an introduction, and it gave him, like, a lame functionality. I'm sorry, but it's true. So, I feel marketed toes, and not in a good way. Is there a good way to be marketed toes? Probably not. But anyways, moving on to episode 52. A couple of Digimon is taking humans. That's the best way to describe it. The gang is on the case. There's a tech company on the lake. They were in a hotel room, and, like, there's a person describing, like, what's happening. And during this, Jellymon is messing with Koshiro like she normally does. But, like, in, like, one scene, it looks like she's giving him a blowjob. I feel like I have to point that out. But Willie, Engelmon, and Esmond are looking into this by themselves, while the others are still in the hotel, because, like, they go, oh, we look into this for morning. But Willie's like, no, I'm looking at it now. And she gets Kappa. Willie is trapped in a cave, but Kappa Boss wants to eat humans. The minions, Guapamon, return Willie back to where she was. Willie wants to go back to the lake. The boss goes on a hunting season. The digital world field is used. The boss is Sho'Ajumon. Engelmon digivolves into Sambo Engelmon, but de-digivolves just as fast. Gabumon will digivolve into Corner Weissmon, but Gabumon asks the gang to help the boss because he got sick around the same time the tech company was being built. Corner Weissmon's time limit is reached. Engelmon will digivolve into Lamomon and wins the day. Theusismon is healing, but Gabumon and Shijumon, so they're just all bad. The Kappa Digimon go to the mountains so they won't hurt anyone. The lake had chemicals in it due to a leaky pub and attack factory. And they finally bring back the talk of Digimon not belonging in the human world. I think this episode is good in terms of the scale part. Of like, oh, being dragged into the lake, which I'm surprised they haven't done before, honestly. Because it's a classic trope, being dragged into the lake. my issue is finally brought back. Oh, maybe Digimons can't belong in the human world, but it's like there's been many cases of Digimon causing havoc, but probably too problematic to be in the human world. But that's not brought up though. It's brought up here when humans are affecting Digimon, which is a fair argument to make. But it's like, why now? To remind us of that? Like, it's nothing. It's no, like, meat on these bones. It's not brought up again. And again, that's the frustrating part of Ghost Game. It wants to have its cake and eat it too. I keep saying it because it's true. The baking cakes, we're making them look pretty. But they go, no, you cannot eat that cake. And it's frustrating. Episode 53. A Digimon got their eyes on Koichiro. Koichiro is back from a school trip. A ghost came to pick up Koichiro to have him see a Digimon, but Digimon wants to have a battle of wits, and the winner will steal one piece of knowledge from the other person. Koichiro seems to have more knowledge than before. Koichiro plays an round of knowledge game and is losing. Koichiro is acting like a dick because he's forgotten everything and everyone. The gang follows Koichiro to his next game. Jellymon attacks the book, which is where the Digimon of the week is. Ballamon. Gamamon digifies into Battle Gamamon, Agumon into Sample Agumon. They play the game to win Koichiro's knowledge back, but it just turned into a fight van because they were asking niche cat questions about Ballamon. It's like, stop it. Koichiro got enough knowledge back to fight, so Jellymon digifies into digifies into Festusmon. Festusmon won back Koichiro's knowledge by asking a question, but Koichiro and Festusmon will only know because Koichiro bought a new gate to the shrine that it had because he likes an anime that happens to take place there. It doesn't feel as clever as, like, it feels more sleazy because, that's not... Like, it tries to, like, tie in as a lesson to, like, Bulma, information updates, but, like, that wasn't really the issue here. And also that, like, it doesn't feel as good as a gotcha, because how is anyone supposed to know that? Opposed to, like, the gotcha of the Clue Master episode of Batman, when Batman's like, when Clue Master's like, ask me any question, it's like, okay, who's the Batman?
Name the true identity of the Batman.
It doesn't feel as, like, clever as that, because there's a little of irony there, because the audience knows who Batman is, obviously, but, like, it's like, everyone knows besides Clue Master, but that's why that moment works. But this, no one knows, it's just, by the way, so, it feels cheap. And then Koichiro learns there's no cheap way of getting knowledge. This episode overall is fine. Like, the Battle of Wits, it's a clever idea, and I appreciate that. And there's ghosts, though. The actual ghosts, and Koichiro gets scared of them, and that's all they do. They just bring him to the knowledge game, and when it's revealed the actual ghosts, they disappear, and, like, literally, you can replace them with anything. It doesn't matter. With another Digimon. But it's had little impact the story, and that's the last time we see ghosts in Digimon Ghost game. So, like, you wasted the ghost concept. You could have done a lot more with it than you actually did. Episode 54. Hiro can see from other point of views as, like, a warning to stop Kotaro from falling down the stairs. Esmon is acting weird. Hiro gets another vision and saves Gamamon from a truck. Jellymon is watching, aka she found a way to make a business out of Hiro, which, again, she's not asking for money, so what's the point? Besides the point, Hiro just looks like shit. Hiro gets overwhelmed by visions. Hiro is growing horns. There's a Fujisumon on Hiro, and the common link seems to be, like, the fishing spot at the beginning of the episode between, like, all people with Fujisumons on them. Fujisumon are usually on Octomon. Octomon likes the game that Koichiro plays, and so they offer, like, a rare arm as bait. And they get 2 Octomon flying, like, if they come out of the phone, they're fighting over who gets the iron. Digital Warfield is used. Jellymon digifies into Tesla Jellymon. And so basically the story is, one of Octomon fight with his Futuremon, causing them to leave. If they fail to give the Futuremon off their heads, that all the heads would go boom, boom. And then you find Valia, which is on Espeon. He was becoming more like an Octomon, which is like, why? Like, one over other, like, you pick the exploding head over turning into a Digimon. Doing both, it's like, what's the point? The head's gonna explode. It doesn't matter if he turns into an Octomon, he'd be dead. His head would be peace. So it just feels like you need to pick a consequence here. They found Espimon. Ganamon got through to a brainwash Espimon, which is weird, like he was the one that was brainwashed compared to the others. I guess it's because of Valia, I don't know. And we got Fujimon to return to the Octomon. This episode was mad. I really didn't like it overall. But, like, the Pain Psychic thing showed, but, like, it kind of, the Pain Psychic thing was fine, but, like, they just, I don't know, they didn't stick the landing, in my opinion. And, like, yeah, for Fujimon, like, for fight thing, okay, sure, it happens, but, like, you know they're gonna make it up event, of course. So, I mean, not that I was expecting, like, a surprise ending or twist, but, like, it really wasn't. I feel like this could have been any other episode of another Digimon show, basically, in my opinion. Episode 55. A sleepy kid is acting like a cat and wakes up on a burning boat controlled by, like, they were controlled by a two-tailed cat. Koichiro catches his dorm members feeding stray cats outside and shoos them away. So Digimon wants cats to train humans. Koichiro is the next victim. Angomon saves one of the sleeping humans from falling. We don't want them to be paced. The strays from earlier are now mean. The cats are after Gamamon and Koichiro. The Digimon captures Hiro, who was following Gamamon. We're at a pet cemetery. Guess we gotta go with the Stephen King route here. I've only seen one Stephen King movie. Well, shoot. It was like the Fire Girl movie with Zac Efron in it. Man, that was terrible. It also had a cat in it. It got boned alive, but I couldn't help but laugh through the scene because it was trying to be creepy and scary and it wasn't. Anyways, the Digimon of the week is called Bestimon. Bestimon is making humans go through trials to get affection, aka acting like cats. And if you fail, you're digging your own grave. Really comes around with Saori, which is a cat weakness. And apparently gets them like drunk, basically. Which I Googled, it's a real thing. Digital World Field is used. Angomon warps Digivolve into Lionmon. Lionmon gets its energy drained and brainwash. Gamamon warp Digivolves into Cornwisemon. Jellimon to Festusmon. Festusmon uses the celery in her blood to poison Bestimon, winning the day. Bestimon wants a partner like the cat. Like for normal cats. I mean, I volunteer as tribute. But this episode is fine. Again, it's like one of the episodes that try being like more scary than it actually is. I mean, sure, digging your own grave, that's terrifying, but I can't help but laugh. But Gamamon is filled with a kid shovel. Kind of took me out a bit. That moment, and like trying to act like human, like cat, or like forcing humans try to be cats. Sure, could be creepy, but the way they went about it really wasn't. So, meh. Episode 56. A lot of people think everything needs to be cleansed. Kirichu is acting strange too after he called Hero for help. For brainwashed people now acting more like zombies after using the digital warfare, it seems like everyone is really a doll. Willie gets caught, and basically, like, for Digimon of the Week, it's like, oh, well, you lied when you were like 7, and that makes you impure, and like a bunch of, basically a bunch of like nothing things as impurities. The humans are being cleansed of all the things, but dolls don't have the souls of the humans in their bodies, so that's why they look like dolls, because the soul's been whipped out. But dolls are getting ready for a ritual. Hero is the last human. The week's Digimon is Kuzuhamon, which was to burn the human and the stuff. Gamamon warps Digivolve to Cornwisemon. Kuzuhamon changes out of man outfit. Kuzuhamon thinks Digimon are more pure than humans. Cornwisemon lost. Cornwisemon Digivolves into Seriousmon after saying that is wrong with how sure, there's a lot of things wrong with how humans act, but it doesn't make you impure. The evolution theme for the Megas is My Kure by Yoshi Kua. I like it a lot. I like it much better than the normal evolution theme. After seeing the power of friendship, Kasa Hiramon calls out the Witcher and mentions someone saying the Digimon to the human world. I like this episode. I like that we're finally getting Megas. A bit late, but with only like 9 episodes left. But hey, I take it. And also, we got a new plot point. Someone's saying Digimon to the human world. I'm glad I bought those. Anyways, yeah. I mean, Seriousmon is cool. I like evolution. And yeah, this is episode. Episode 57. A taxi, which a Digimon is like dragging you and sucking you dry. He released Kato and Garamon because he forgot his phone. Kato and Garamon get taxied. So the Digimon are forcing the humans to drive to where the angels are, or triple up. Hero found Koto's cookies that he dropped and got a call, so Hero knows what's up. Crazy taxi time. Garamon has something in him that's resisting the Digimon's power. It's Gauss Garamon, basically. The gang is now looking for the taxi. Kato is failing to find the angels. The gang found the taxi. Gauss Garamon flashes his eyes to like the Digimon. But this week's is Silversmon and Lilithmon. The angel hunt is about the angel Digimon, like the Celestial 3, which they flash for silhouettes but don't explain, so if you're not a Digimon fan, there you go. There's that. Jellymon whoops Digivolve to Festusmon, Angemon to Lemomon. Silversmon is being. Bakumon comes to undo Lilithmon's curse. Again, the talks of someone saying Digimon to the human world. Garamon whoops Digivolve into Konowismon. Konowismon Digivolves into Seriousmon. After cracking Lilithmon's crown, Lilithmon wants Seriousmon to join him, but he turns her down. But Digimon leave via a gate that Lilithmon made, and then mentions that Gauss Garamon might wants to join him, which that's never brought up again, and so it's a little foreboding, but doesn't fucking matter. And I'm a sucker for Lilithmon. Lilithmon is, for those who don't know, part of the 7 demon lords, and she represents lust. So she is goth lust mommy. I love her design so much. But yes, this episode frustrates me. Like, I like this episode overall. It's a fine episode. But you could have easily had an arc with the 7 demon lords and like have each episode episodic as fuck. Like them looking for the Celestial Digimon. But like each episode you're dealing with gluttony, greed, lust, pride, sloth. You can do that, and that'd be hauntings. Like, oh, all the people in this town are being slothful, all these people time are being wrathful. Like, you can have fun with that shit. If it is a Digimon, but it's bone, like, fusing all the 7 demon lords together. So, like, you could have, like, all of a sudden demon lords being, and then rises for, like, final boss of a little arc you have going on, though. As it's just as a suggestion, you could do a lot. You don't have to do that, per se, but, like, based off what this episode gives, that's the idea that comes to my mind. But again, I have character arcs are episodic and stuff like that in nature. You don't need it. You don't need it. Just have this slop that they give us. But again, overall, the episode was fun, so. But I'm not blaming the episode for the mispotation for the Wilds purposely didn't do, not that specific idea, but just choosing to go over episodic on purpose. Episode 58. If you can't insert a will, a Digimon turns you into a brick. Willie's friend has a piano concert, and the reason why Willie quit classes because she didn't want to do concerts, her friend gets bricked. The gang are looking into it and found there are a lot of missing people. Hiro and Kurashiro get bricked. The Digimon of the week is Ancient Sphinxmon, who is building a pyramid using the human bricks. The unfinished pyramid shows up in the park. The digital warfare is used. Ancient Sphinxmon is trying to open a path for Pheromon and have the world be like ancient times. Egomon whoops Digivolve into Lamomon. Ancient Sphinxmon is too strong. Lamomon Digivolves into Dalrapidmon. After Lamomon says he wants to learn more about the human culture and that Willie needs to find her perfect hobby, which, again, was brought up in passing. It's not really a plot point. And yeah, it has no conclusion, so. Oh, this might be the conclusion, which is kind of lame either way. Doraemon wins the day in F1D bricks. This episode is fine within itself, but again, this episode has like a thing where you could make an arc. Oh, because Mummymon knows Pheromon. He made comments like, oh, my king to Pheromon, but he was on the side of our heroes because he doesn't want the world to be like ancient times. But like, that could have been a character development right there with Mummymon, but they had it, but like they could have made it into a bigger thing and made it more impactful, but they chose not to. So moving on to episode 59. A biker steals Ela's purse, but he gets showered by a Digimon with a human on his back. One of Koshio's many co-workers in many different laboratories is also a super anime nerd. Koshio goes to see a Sentai play called The Jawaras, based off of the Legend of Jawara.
そんなに見つめちゃ恥ずかしい
When a Digimon attacks, Koshio pretends to be Jawara for the Digimon, so it stops attacking and he gets kidnapped. Koshio is sinking into the Digimon's back when he's trying to when he tries to run, but the Digimon doesn't know like this goes on. Only the underling understands that he's sinking into the Digimon's back, and he goes like, "Don't tell the boss." The gang hears what happened. Koshio and the Digimon fight crime and shouts like the bad evildoers. SPmon shows up but runs away to tell where Koshio is. The Digimon of the week is Gekomon and Shogun Gekomon. The Digimon show up to where Shogun Gekomon is, but Koshio sinks fully into its back. The co-worker sees this. Shogun Gekomon blames the gang for Koshio's disappearance. Gamamon ropes Digivolve into Konowaismon, Angromon into Lemonomon, and then the time limit hits, so being careful because they don't want to kill the humans, so it's stuck in the back. Gamamon digivolves into Gauss Gamamon when pushed into a corner. The black Digimon are back to watch. Gauss Gamamon only wants to sync with Hero. Gekomon fears for humans before Gauss Gamamon could hurt Shogun Gekomon. Gauss Gamamon goes away. It's what he does best. Everyone's back to normal. The co-worker will look after Gekomon and Shogun Gekomon. Oh look, them being a bridge. We could have done that a lot sooner with a lot of different plot points, but oh well. This episode's fine. Like, I have nothing really to say about it. Like, it's a bit different with the whole sinking the back and the Digimon doesn't realize he's doing harm. But other than that, there's nothing much. And I feel like them being a bridge could have been more of a focus than just a passing comment. Like, it should have been a focus throughout the series, but whatever. That's not how Ghost Game rolls. So, episode 60, a Digimon's like making human hugs, but like they leak water from their eyes and mouth. Like, just continuous waterfall. There's something strange about rain, aka it's human water leakage from buildings. If you get too much on you, you become a hugs yourself. The town is underwater. The town found a mummy that might be connected. Of course, the gang is looking into this. There's water in the way, but Submarine-mon helps the gang across and say Divamon are behind this. If you are a Digimon, the water doesn't affect you. The gang found the mummy, but they dropped it into water and turns out to be Kephilemon. Hero and Willow got a little wet. Kephilemon wants to expand the sea. Good old Team Aqua motivations. Jellymon whoops Digivolve into Festusmon. Submarine-mon saves Koshio from getting wet. Koshio chases Kephilemon, thinking about the time to spend together and people, they like people, because that's a plot point 100% that Jellymon and Koshio dislike people. Random, but whatever, we gotta get an evolution thing going here. Causes Festusmon to Digivolve into Empimon. He speaks more English as like a showman mode personality, like an idol. But I don't know. It's cute. That's all I have to say. So I mean, what am I complaining about? Digital Warfield is used, Amphimon saves the day, everyone's back to normal. This episode's fine. At this point, I was really sick. Getting sick of Ghost Game. So, even though this is an evolution episode and it's fine for what it is, I was just done with Ghost Game at this point, I'll be real honest. So, I was just like, well, I mean, it was fine, it wasn't god-awful, but, you know, I want the promises to the mystery solved that you guys gave us. So, moving on to episode 61, someone dies when they were researching warp space, like they got slammed against the wall by a mysterious object. The person's now a zombie and is haunting Kotra, which is a person we haven't met before, and I just put the name in for the sake of ease in naming things. The gang is zombie case. Kotra's relationship to the zombie is it's her brother's fiancé. The zombie only moves at night and talks at night. There are all voices. Of course, Digimon are there. The zombie's chest glows and starts to move and talk. The brother gets marks all over his body because he's been touching zombies due to, like, the zombie draining his energy, but, like, you know, it's touching him, hugging him up, wonderful, wonderful stuff. Kotora gets her energy drained too, but Viamon and Sumeamon too, like, just everywhere, just a lot of them. Koshio gets his energy drained too. Then Millenniumon comes out of the zombie. Gammamon warps Digivolve into Chronowismon, Anglomon into Lamomon. The digital world field is used. Zed Millenniumon is too strong. So we get Chronowismon Digivolves into Seriousmon, Lamomon into Diorapimon. So Zed Millenniumon is whipping warp space, because is that big of a deal. Is that guy. The zombie is helping from inside Zed Millenniumon. Moon Millenniumon shot into the zombie pre-death and that's what killed him. Moon Millenniumon was using the zombie to come back to life as Zell Millenniumon to gather energy. Zell Millenniumon wants to destroy the world. Who doesn't? The zombie is the weak point, so the game used that to beat Zell Millenniumon. Everyone is back to normal. Hero is keeping Moon Millenniumon, which is the dumbest shit. Did we not learn this like 20 episodes ago? Black Gatomon should be taking this thing back to the digital world where it belongs. But hey, you know, it doesn't come up again, so it doesn't fucking matter. This episode's fine. Like, again, it's like one of those episodes, it's like, you could have made an arc out of this and have character development. But hey, because Millennium Mom is a pretty big deal in the digital world. Doesn't mean you had to make it a big deal in Ghost Game, but, like, you could easily have an arc of, like, you know, several Digimon of the week trying to gather energy from Millennium Mom so it can be reboned. Like, for example, Suamon that can evolve into Diabolomon. You can't evolve homage to our world game, but Diabolomon staring, like, in that data to feed into Millennium Mom, for example. And Biomon digivolves into Meloismon if you want to go with that vampire and go, you know, drain human life force, give to Millennium Mom. I'm just saying, it's the thing they could have done. Again, missed potentials of the episode's fault. It's the overall arcing way Ghost Game is being told. But yeah, I know me spitballing ideas and stuff of what I want to see. Of course I'm getting like that mode because it's what I want to see, but like, it's just not hard to make episodic, but also have a storyline through it too. And again, Ghost Game is just not doing that well at all. But moving on to 62, Digimon take over an apartment complex and put keyholes into people because they don't have a key. One of Rui's friends live there. SPMon lives Hero's place to look for the real one.
It's not funny.
Rui is looking into the apartment. There is a 13.5 floor. Rui and her friend get separated, with her friend getting stuck on the 13.5 floor. The friend gets keyholed. The rest of the gang is helping Rui. The Digimon have been living in the empty apartment rooms. SPMon is helping the friend out. The gang got kicked out, and so did the rest of the humans that live on the floors that the Digimon live on, and those floors just get separated and removed from the building. SPMon gets in trouble for helping the human from this week's Digimon, Chaos Andromon. Digital World Field is used, and the friend is still there because she's keyed. Gammamon warps Digivolve into Chronowismon, Jellymon into Festusmon, Angelmon to Lamomon. Chaos Andromon beats Lamomon. Chronowismon digivolves into Siriusmon, VSmon into Empimon, Cross Endromon beats Empimon, Espimon digivolves into Hover Espimon thanks to Hero, so he can help Siriusmon and also end that stupid fake Hero gag. Because, like, Espimon has been going for, like, a few episodes, like, oh, I want to digivolve. And Hero's the payoff. And the way they don't use it as, like, a calendar thing. Like, they do, but, like, it doesn't feel fulfilling. Because Espimon has been helping out. Anyways, because maybe made it a bit stronger than they actually did. But then again, he has proved that it's like, oh, we can do stuff and be episodic, but still have plots and stuff. The gang wins the day, but explain to the Digimon to only use the space between the flows so the Digimon doesn't mess with the humans, and the humans don't mess with the Digimon. I don't like this episode. So many missed opportunities, like Willie's friend. She learns about Digimon, but don't fucking do anything with it. Like, and I know that shows about them, but do something. Please. I am begging you. And it's just frustrating. It really is. Espimon, we don't know why Espimon was working for Hero. He never says. He was just looking for him for a stupid fucking gag. Yeah, that's great payoff, show. For reminding us that he was looking for him for how many episodes? Like, 25, I believe? I might be overestimating, but I'm pretty sure it was like 36 was Espimon's first episode. You don't do anything. So, it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. Episode 63. We see someone eating and becoming like a D-Weeper. Willie eats something but it's crunchy, now she's always hungry. Willie just can't stop eating, and she's starting to look like shit. And skinny, and more D-Weeperish. Willie starts to bite Gamamon, and that's when it began to think, yeah, we should stop her. You knew something was wrong, you didn't stop her to take a bite out of Gamamon. You guys are horrible friends. They lock Willie up, but she escapes and tries to eat Hero with stretch arms. Willie passes out. Mummymon's looking after Willie. Willie had Quotemon inside of her, and it came out of her body. Espimon digivolves into Hover Espimon. The gang shows after Quotemon to his out shell, which is sucking up all the Quotemon. But plans to spawn small spheres to get inside people and steal the life force. The digital world field is used. Kraus Gamamon digivolves into Chronowismon, Jellymon into Festusmon. The Tingle Ultra didn't work on Quotemon. Chronowismon digivolves into Siriusmon, Festusmon into Empimon. Quotemon is being and shows that he was stealing energy for the baby Digimon inside of him. They got Quotemon to give everyone the energy back. In return, they will help the babies, which that's never brought up again. I'm just assuming for babies are fine. The Digimon are coming in numbers to the human world because we were told to do so. This episode's fine. Like, again, Quotemon is also a pretty big freaking deal. Like, again, it doesn't have to be a big deal in, like, Ghost game, but it's frustrating because, again, it goes back to how Ghost story is told. Like, based off how Quotemon was in Digimon Fusion, or Crosswords, whatever you want to call it, you could have Tagu and Gumdramon, like, come in for a few episodes. Just saying, like, easy to prevent the rise of Quotemon. I mean, Fusion is far from my favorite series, at least the House story. But, like, you know, I'm just spitballing ideas. And you would think also the next episode would pick up with this episode left with, oh my god, there's so many Digimon here. Nope, episode 64. A fog is caused by a Digimon taking over people's minds. Hero and friends are going fishing. Great, picking up where we left off, folks! But Digimon Hero votes telling them to run before they got to the human world. I mean, we're finding out a bit more, but still. Hero and his friends are on a zombie fog ship. Hero used the digital world field, but it's small, just protecting him and Gamamon. The fog is blank and reminds me of a Spider-Man PS1 game. The fog is getting small and people are going with it, but fog zombies are turning into fish people are going for a swim in the ocean. The Digimon of the week is Dragamon. Quotewismon can't get close to Dragamon. Hover saves Hero from the fish people. The partner Digimon are imagining things, but Hover looked them up with sour candy. The real Dragamon was underwater and turned black. Quotewismon digivolves into Siriusmon as the other Digimon time limits hits because God forbid they get more screen time on their megaphones. Dragamon turns into a bunch of tentacles but got gated away by Black Gatomon. Cthulhumon and Dabamon help save the humans. Hero's dad is back in the real world, power is out, and all the Digimon feel the digital world has disappeared. This episode's fine. I feel like the last hoo-ah in terms of Digimon of a week before the story gets going, and it kind of then mix well with what was going on. But they wanted to do something which is Digimon turning black. But like it didn't mix well with what was going on. I feel like it didn't flow as nicely as it should have. So I really hope for episode, but this was kind of neat in a way, but also kind of not really. But they just wanted to show an example of Digimon like being black colored, which is gonna be explained in the next 2 episodes. But I feel like this episode could have done better with the flow. But that's my main issue. Episode 69. A black stand has been turning Digimon black and makes them go crazy in the digital world. Power's somewhat back. Digimon are all over the world. For Digivices can open a gate the whole time, Bakumon just lied about them not being able to go to the digital world because he didn't think they were away. You just need a Digivice and a Digimon. So the mystery was solved. Yay, that's exciting, isn't it? The gang plans on going to the digital world to save it. Hamon is going to help the gang open the gate with a magic. Hero's dad didn't make it in time to go through the gate. The gang gets attacked the second they got there due to Digimon under the black corrosion. They lost all their food, but that doesn't matter, so it's like a scale that really doesn't affect anything. Koshio gets poisoned due to flowers. Koshio got Wooly, Tesla Jeremon, and Senbon Angemon poisoned. But flowers are coming out of the poisoned people. Rafurismon is the Digimon of the week and has been affected by the black corrosion. Rafurismon absorbs the poisoned people who have been turned into flowers. Bear Agumon digivolves into Siriusmon. Hero and Hovo Esmon has been flowered. Siriusmon is talking to Gauss Gaimon, which should be happening so much sooner than this episode. So much sooner than Siriusmon goes like, oh, Gauss Gaimon's a thing. It's like, this should have happened, like, so long ago. But Gauss Gaimon wants to switch with Siriusmon. Siriusmon gets flowered by Rafurismon for everyone up and dies. Wonderful, isn't it? The gang goes to a cloud with a voice telling the Digimon to go to the human world said to be, and Bloom Lord Monster's God. I mean, I like this episode just due to the fact that the plot is finally moving forward. We're finally getting momentum, even though the answers we're getting are not satisfying so far. I'm just happy that we're not standing still. Episode 66. Bloom Loremon says he protects the being that would lead us to the future and won't let the gang pass. Bergamon just falls into Siriusmon, Teslamon into Tesla Jellymon into Emblemon, and Senbonmon to Dio Rabbitmon. Emblemon and Dio Rabbitmon have been flowered again. A different kind of flowered, but they've been planted once again. The being behind the current thing sending Digimon to the human world is the best plan. Never can go wrong with that. Humans and Digimon working together to get the chaos in the human world down to various degrees of success. Siriusmon de-digivolves and gets flowered. Now everyone is flowered. Loremon blames Gauss Gaimon for corrosion in the digital world. Gaimon lets Gauss Gaimon take over. Gauss Gaimon corroded the digital world before Gaimon left it. He just penny dropped the corrosion. Gauss Gaimon digivolves into Regulusmon. Gamamon is probably away. He's gone forever, apparently. Regulusmon wants to create an army of the strongest. Heroes Digivice grows. Regulusmon and Bloom Loremon are evenly matched. Hero agrees to sync with Regulusmon. Syncing allows Wisemon to try to take over, which Gamamon being gone is just fake tension, so who cares? The gang teleports inside the 2 Digimon. Wisemon digivolves into Siriusmon. Bloom Loremon frees everyone from the flowers. Regulusmon kills Siriusmon with a Moncoso per size hole. This episode's fine. Again, plot is finally happening. We are learning a bit more, so that's good, but still questions, and we got 1 episode to wrap this all up. So, moving on to episode 67. Gamon's dreaming that everyone is disappearing and relives Bakumon's death. Gamon is disappearing, the votes made so time is slow for everyone besides Hero and Siriusmon, so Hero can bring him back to life. Hero found a fake Gamamon who was Recklessmon, which is pointless because 2 seconds later he found the real Gamamon and got him to stop dying with the power of friendship. Again, fake tension. Seriousmon de-digivolves into Gamamon so we can go through all of his evolutions and have a cool fight scene. Friendship is the strongest attack of all. Remember that, kids. Seriousmon sucks Gauss Gamamon back into his body. Gamamon and Gauss Gamamon made a deal to heal the digital world. Reverse is Quantumon. Quantumon is connected to the Digivices and was the one to send the Digimon to the human world and cut them off from it. The human world and the digital world are connected, so if you cut off connection to the digital world, no more internet. Quantumon says that the human digital world are likely to collapse one day due to human emotions. Black Gatomon worked with Quantumon. Quantumon was collecting data on human emotions by sending Digimon to the human world, and it was far away to save them from a black collision too. Quantumon puts limits on the digital devices, so that's why there's a time limit for the Ultimates, but Quantumon didn't count for Megas being a thing. So it just makes Ultimates feel pointless. Like, why were you going for Ultimate phone when you can have a more powerful phone without a time limit? Like, sure, Quantumon and Universe wouldn't know that, but for sure I was dead, so like, it's stupid. I'm sorry, it's just not good flying. It's like how Super Saiyan 3 still drains the energy super fast. I just think it's, why would you ever use Super Saiyan 3 when you can just go to like Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan Blue if you so inclined. It's like one bad situation. It's lame. The Black Digimon also work for Quantumon to watch Gauss Gamamon, but they can't be cool, but they didn't do anything, so who cares? Gauss Gamamon, here's when the jumping the shark happens. Gauss Gamamon says that the Endbringer is coming, and he's an alien. I have so many questions about him being an alien, but none of that gets answers. Like, how does that work? Like, how does him being a part of Gamamon work? Did he just injected himself into Gamamon? Is he like a brainiac from like the DCAU kind of style when he's like a computer? Like, what's going on? What is Gauss Gamamon exactly? An alien? Like, if he was just a Digimon show, but I wouldn't have this many questions, but I have so many questions because the digital world was made from a computer virus. So, like, like how does this work? And that's why he did what he did by making stronger allies via the black corrosion. The Endbringer will be on Earth in 2,000 years. Of course, time perception is different between humans and Digimon because humans have like a clock of 100 years. Digimon kind of live forever until, they die via a lot of different things, but they can't live forever. Quantumon wants to bring back the Digimon and separate the two worlds, but the gang says the worlds can coexist. And then we randomly flash back to a Gamamon being a feral, like, kid when he was dad first met him instead of a, like, sweet baby kid we know. It doesn't add anything with it being though, so I don't know why it's though. Just to take up screen time, I guess. The game would be the bridge between the two worlds and make a new country for humans and Digimon. Best ending. It sucked. I'm sorry, what the fuck were you doing? You could build all that up throughout the series. You chose not to. What, were you expecting a sequel series? Digimon Ghost Game 2? No, like, you had 68 episodes, because you did a special, to do something, and you decided not to. Like, sure, it's fine to have episodic episodes with Billy and April on it. But, you have plenty of an opportunity to have plot. To do all these things, and you chose not to. And it's frustrating. Digimon Ghost Game is the definition of missed opportunities all around. So I would give it a 3 out of 10. I will like to thank you all for coming out. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you dislike the video, give it a thumbs down. Now, hit the subscribe button if you want to watch more for us videos. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.